What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Weaver. I am on the Don't Unfriend Me show, otherwise known as The Dumb Show, with host Matt Spear. You guys can find the show at The Dumb Show on social media or thedumbshow.com.
You know, it's hilarious. I was talking to Leroy before the show, and I simply said, "There's nothing better than working out when you're answering the trolls. Like, my 30 minutes just flew by." And this one guy keeps creating an account. His name's Norm, and then Franklin. And I just told him, I said, if you have the courage, come on live on the show. He won't come on the show. He's like, you Republicans lie. That's all you do. Great. Give me some facts. Show me how we lie. Tell me how we lie. Explain it.
That's someone you can tell is just one of those people that just react emotionally, just live in their own little bubble, in their own little echo chamber. I love it.
Yep, I love it too. I love them. I just melted them down. Folks, my name's Matthew Spear. You're going to see Leroy and Amy jump on in just a minute. The lights went out in Georgia.
Oh no!
A little bit ago on my thing here. I got to bring it down a tad. Let me see. There we go. 4,200 seems to be the sweet spot. Gives me a nice warm glow. 4,200K. Olivia, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm good.
Oh gosh, that was weak. Seriously, can you just show some excitement?
Hello, everyone.
See,
welcome
seriously.
to the show.
If you have to do that, it means your other approach sucked. I'm seriously, that's what it means. I mean, if you have to change it up, it means it sucked. That's Olivia, folks. That's
I'm just being me.
Are you saying you suck?
Yeah.
You do. No. You do, like a Hoover. So, here, that's why I married her, folks. That's my wife, Olivia Spear. She's the weather girl, news person, /
sound effects.
We're starting that early.
Yes,
okay,
we are.
Amy, tell everyone who you are.
Hi, everybody.
Besides Amy.
I'm Amy Robinson. I'm a real estate agent in the beautiful state of Northern Virginia here. I said I'm going to start adding that I'm the connector person. I like to connect people together. So,
what are your pronouns?
Jesus. Not Jesus. I'm not Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus Christos.
Yeah, exactly. I need to think about it. I need to come up with something that's pretty clever. I've not put too much thought into it.
You do.
I don't want she, her, though. I definitely want something a bite to it.
Right. Hershey. Folks, do me a favor. Please share the hell out of this. If everyone shared right now, we would double our viewership. Get it out there. Hit the like button. Spam it. Make sure it's going to be a good show tonight. It's going to be a contentious show. Everyone's like, oh, maybe Olivia's tired. I don't care. I don't care. I spare no expense. I get up for this show every single time. I take the little blue pill. She should do the same. Who's the other guy? To my screen's left, but to my site left, to my right on screen. Whatever. Who the hell
military left. Your military left. It's Leroy Jenkins. Yes, folks, I stole that. I am Matt's right-hand man. My pronoun is Lord. So if you're going to insult me, please do it that way.
Oh, do you own a plot of land? Are you like a lord on paper? Do you have the?
I do.
That's not required to be a lord. To be a lord, you don't have to actually own. Only thing you need to have is titles of nobility. You actually don't need to have land to be a lord. Now, just to tell you, most lords were title holders, and of course, it was bestowed upon them to be lords. But you could simply knight a person without deeds and titles of nobility, and they would still have to be referred to as Lord or Sir. A little bit of history. That's what we bring out, Liv.
I like it.
That's it. That's all I get. There's nothing there. There's nothing. We're talking about lords. You've got 700 sounds.
And that's the problem. I don't know where any of them are. I'm still learning it.
Well, I know how I felt when we first slept together. I couldn't find the button. You need to find it. We're just talking about lords. Okay. I wonder what you could pick. What? Let me hear it. No.
You made a joke.
No. The snare drum wasn't even invented during Lords of Nobility. Maybe like a leather skin beat drum or bass drum. Maybe there's something from Monty Python somewhere.
Fart in your general direction.
There we go.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberry.
So much better. Thank you, Olivia. You found the button. Folks, Leroy, Amy, this is the Don't Unfriend Me show. What are we talking about tonight? Well, first of all, we're going to say hello to the Dumb Nation. We've got Lee Houston on. I don't know if anyone has seen this pic, but Lee's yoked.
Dang, yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
For like pushing 80, he's not looking too bad. I mean, I'd do him. Barry Manilow and some back rubs. I'm just saying. Dale's here watching in Louisiana. Outstanding. Is there a hurricane anytime soon? Isn't that in the news in Louisiana like all the time? There's a hurricane like every other day.
It's not hurricane season yet.
No idea.
Yeah, but it's Louisiana. If there's any place in the world there would be a hurricane outside of hurricane season, it'd be Louisiana. God hates Louisiana, it seems. I mean, isn't that the case? Every time we had a hurricane in Houston, it'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, it's heading for Washington State, and it might go up California. Oh, wait a second, it just took a turn. And it's going around the southern U.S. It's going through Baja. It's in the Gulf. It's going to hit Louisiana. How's that possible? I mean, it just seems to be what happened. Folks, we've got a typhoon over Japan. Wait, it's turning into a Category 5. It's going right towards Louisiana. You guys haven't seen that. What the hell's wrong with her? Okay, do we need to take a timeout? Do we need to reset?
No, I'm ready to go.
Or I don't think everyone's ready to go. Leroy's like, he's ready. Olivia's over here going, we're talking about hurricanes hitting Louisiana, Leroy.
Yeah, get with the program, Leroy.
What the hell's, how do you not know what we're talking about? Have you not been on planet Earth? Don't you understand every major hurricane that forms always hits Louisiana? Can you name a hurricane that hasn't hit Louisiana like in the last 70 of them?
No. And I'm from Florida. That's the thing.
Okay,
so,
thanks.
you know, whenever anybody talks about the horrible hurricanes that blow through there, I always, that will pique my attention. But Louisiana, I just assume that they're always going to get it. That's why it's not newsworthy.
Well, that's why I'm okay. It's all right, folks. In other news, Mike Blankman's on. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Christopher's on. Howdy, ladies and gents. Hey, look at everybody. Debbie Goldthwait's on. Hi. I've missed the last couple of shows. Debbie, it's okay. I haven't missed much. All right.
I know Matt's trying to be
Kristen's on.
monotone for a reason, but it's actually turning me on.
I know, right?
Can you say it a little slower? Can you say greetings from Central Iowa? Brenda's on. They don't have any possible chance of getting a hurricane. That'll be fine. Mike says, oh shit, Mike's on. So now you're going to have to just end the show. Was that like in the third person omniscient that you did that, Mike? Like announced yourself? Oh shit, Mike's on. So now we're going to, okay, whatever. Tina Savage, Thomas is on. It's not party time. It's kind of like coffee. It's partry time. Not sure what partry time is, but it sounds good to me. It's probably Russian. Carrie says hello. Janet says hello. Whitney Wheatley says hello, because one hello is not enough. Vicky, hi dummies. Good to see Vicky. Post-op, doing better, feeling better. Joel Reeder. That sounds like a novelist.
Yeah.
A new book.
There's a lot of new people that I'm picking up, like new names.
I know. There are. Can I finish my narration of Joel Reeder? Do we have a suspense sound or something like that? Do you have some movie shit that you can come on? Can you give me something? Hold on.
Something like that, yeah.
In a new book by Bantam Rooster, in the dead of the night, with a night that cuts like a piece of onyx glass. One killer, one woman, two chickens, a goldfish, a slightly limping to the left geriatric in Joel Reeder's In the Onyx of Night.
Hasta la vista, baby.
I love it. Joel Reeder just sounds, or he's a porn star.
Right.
Then it would sound something like, I don't know. If we can find something. Can we find something that sounds like a porn star? She's emphatically good. I can do my job. Hold on. Here it is.
I can see the commercial for that. Bum, bum. Good job, Chad. Thanks a lot. You know, being a male dancer's hard, especially when you gotta shave your huevos. That's why I use Huevo Splash. Huevo Splash, you sexy mother.
David Rothler. Colleen's here. Rebecca Pennington. Evening, Matt. Hi, Rebecca. Cheryl's here. Debbie says, oh, Matt, facts to liberals is like sunlight to vampires. Let's coin that. You know what? I'm making a shirt. It's going to be in Gothic. Yeah, it's just going to be like, or I could make it like a verse in the Bible, like Corinthians. 226, and I don't even know if that's accurate. And it'll be like facts to liberals is like sunlight to vampires. God, no, sacrilegious. All right, whatever. Michelle, maybe she's tired. I don't care. I don't care. Happy spring, Rebecca says. Olivia has the perfect voice for podcasts. She does. It's good for phone sex too.
Why, thank you very much.
Yeah, when we've been apart for a little bit of. Vanna White of the Dumb Show.
See, I told you, Vanna White.
I think they're just taking what you said to make you feel better.
Yeah.
Mike Blankman. Mike, it's my wife. You're not going to get lucky. He's like, she's a mom. Let her be, Matt. Hello, Amy and the dummies. Especially like to give Leroy a gigantic FU. Well, that's 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Frederick, hello. Did you yell Leroy or Jenkins going into battle? You didn't yell Leroy Jenkins going into. You did not, did you?
I did.
You did?
I didn't hear it.
Mostly when I was.
I didn't hear it.
Halo.
You need to do it again.
Battle is like when he has to go to the restroom and he has to wrangle one oh, those are horrible. When you gotta
I heard
like
the most
hold on.
interesting story today from one of
God.
one of the people who was like sitting in the same row as me, who was talking about how he had to make an emergency trip and ended up having to look for like just one open stall. And for whatever reason, he finally found one, but it was boxed in by the two guys on the ends, and they were both grunters.
Oh, gross.
So that was
Don't you hate that? Don't you hate that? And it's just like, hey, how about a courtesy flush, pal?
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. I'm sure Amy's got a story. So we've all got a stall story. So here's my stall story. This was in a non-gender, non-binary specific bathroom. So basically a guy's bathroom. And trust me, I have no problem going into the women's restroom. None at all. Like if the guy's is locked and taken, I don't give a shit. I go right into the women's. And they, excuse me. Excuse me what? What do you want me to do? Go in the hallway? Had to go. It's a toilet. You can go in the men's. I would never go in the men's. It's disgusting. Well, thank you for keeping your shit clean. But anyway, the story.
That's always gross.
Dude, trust me, Trust me, I worked in restaurants. I've had restaurant, and I walk in the women's, and I'm just like, holy God, what the hell? Okay, so anyway, not trying to disgust anybody, but we're going to do that.
Because they hover.
So they they get on their phones, they do their makeup, they
we just leave everywhere. Apparently,
do a crossword.
Right.
I will tell you this: floaters predominantly women's restrooms versus men. I'm 100, like a 10-to-1 ratio. I'd walk into guys' restrooms and no problem, but because they'll get beat up. If you leave a floater in a male's restroom and there's a waiting line and somebody comes in, you're going to get your ass kicked. Somebody, hey, get your ass in here, or you're taking a bite. I mean, it's violent. So anyway, when you're in a stall, the next time you go into a bathroom, I want you to listen for this. It's called the sniff. Now, the last thing you should ever do in a restroom is sniff wantingly, right? You should be like breathing through your nose. You should have nose clamps, but
that's when you put on the COVID, the Fauci like 10 mask.
Right, the Fauci mask, which we're going to talk about Fauci tonight. So the next time you go into, I want you to listen. The first thing you do is you open the door, and then I want you to take 2 steps. It has to be 2 steps, and then I want you to stop in front of the sink, which is what most people do, and either A, wash their hands, or they're doing a backwards glance and checking underneath the stall to find out which one's open and which one has people in it because of insecurity. I want you to listen. That's not what you're listening for, but a sound is going to happen. Now, it's either going to be a cough, or it's going to be a sniff, or it's going to be a scuffling of the belt and the shoes. And what that is your nervous twitch notifying the person who just walked in that somebody else is in here with you, and to make sure that they do courtesy squeezes. Like there's no like vacate the freaking bowels next to me shit. There's somebody here with you and I'm here. So please don't touch my door. Please don't look in here. Please don't listen to what I'm doing. And also have proper stall etiquette. Trust me, no matter what. Now everyone's got theirs. Mine is the sniff. I do this. I'll hear this. That's mine. Double sniff, 2 sniffs to let that person know. Leroy, what's yours? And you got to be honest here. Don't tell me you don't have one. If you do, you're lying.
No, honestly, because I'm so deathly afraid of like catching something that I'm not supposed to, right? That I'm usually like stealth in and out. I'm the guy that is in there for like literally like less than a minute.
Right.
To do a
like your
full
carpet,
round.
you just do a stealth carpet dive.
Oh, just
You're
in
out.
and out. Yeah. Yep.
But what's your sound? You didn't answer my
Quick
question.
and quiet. Quick.
God,
and
you're a
quiet.
horrible
Now,
interview.
hey, that's the thing.
I would never interview. I would never interview. I've known you now for a year and a half. I would never interview. Like, hey Matt, will you interview me? No. Well, because you're an interesting guy when you answer the question. What is your little noise you do?
All right. So, and that's what I was going to say was, like my belt buckle has got like, it's one of the ones with the 2 prongs on it. So I'll shake the shit out of that. Right.
You're
Just
rattling like a cattle rustler.
Knows. Yeah.
Cookie dinner. Yeah. Okay.
And
hold on. It's not your turn yet. It's not your turn yet. It's not your turn yet. You got it. Okay, Olivia, go.
it sounds really complicated to be a man going to the bathroom in public.
You do it too.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do.
Amy, we do not make noises.
I don't make noises, but I will say this. I'm almost never alone in a bathroom because my daughter is still so little that I can't
Okay,
go
so you
alone.
guys, silence is your defense. You guys are utterly silent.
No,
Silence
it's
until you get the pull on the door and you're like, be right out.
yeah, it's the don't look under the stall. Don't look under the stall. There's someone in there. Someone's in there. Don't try and open the door. Stop.
Right.
That's us when we go to the bathroom.
Yes. If I'm with my child, I'm like, if you open this door before I get my pants up, I will end you right now.
All right.
Done that to me before.
So like most women,
Yes,
we change the
everyone's
subject and we
listening
turn it
to
around to
about
kids. I mean, come on. Seriously,
Kids
we
are
just want to
kind of
know
our
what we
life.
just want to know what your noise is.
We don't have a noise.
You guys don't even do it.
My wife has told
Wait a minute. But Olivia, do you
she's
do the
told me
courtesy
what she does.
hand
Hold
dryer?
on.
for the
Let Amy
person
finish
in the
and then Leroy go.
So if there's someone in the stall next to me who's been in there like way long, like on the way out, I will always hit the hand dryer an extra time for them so they can have, noise.
Oh, dude, now
never
you know
done
what?
that.
Well, hold on a second. What we call that in military, we call that silent running. So submarines on silent, waiting for the person to open up the door. Then once the torpedo ship doors open up, then you evacuate floods tube 3 and 4 and just let it go, because you're just like, oh, they're gone, because you hold it and you're just like, and then once in a while you're like, yeah, and you're like, oh, shh, don't do it. Hold on. Don't flood tubes. Awooga, dive. Yeah, totally. See, we're guys. We play games in this whole scenario. I can't believe you ladies don't do this shit. Are you seriously?
No, never.
I will
You don't have a
judge people who don't
submarine
wash their hands.
You what?
My wife.
Judge people who don't wash their hands. People who I can see their feet in the stall and they walk right out, and I will look for them in the restaurant and be like, that nasty person did not wash their hands.
Real quick, Ty Martinez goes, first time listener here. Interesting so far. Ty, we're just getting started. This is our warm up period. We're just, what the heck
She
are you
let
doing?
the cat in.
Oh,
My daughter let the cat. So Ty, we're sorry. We're gonna get to political
She's
talk here.
following her. She came into the desk and followed her.
My daughter's walking. She let the cat in actually, so she's back here. Ow!
Sorry.
She's back here trying to catch the cat.
While they're dealing with the cat, I got to tell you what my wife does.
She's singing Lion King and holding up the baby like it's baby Simba. Get the cat out. Go.
The crazy thing is she doesn't do anything. She just sits there.
All right. I invited a ton of friends to come on here. Debbie, I'm sure they left. Out. Now there's a mate. All right. Loved it. Thank you very much for that. It's because the planets are lining up, hurricanes, etc. Carrie, 8 p.m. That is correct. It's okay. Okay, baby Ruth. Ruth, baby? Women's restrooms can be disgusting. You literally have to pee standing up because there's so much urine on the toilet. Is that true?
yes.
Is that true, Amy?
Women's
How in the hell do you pee on the seat when you're a woman?
people who they hover, they won't sit down, and I'm like, it's so gross because my daughter can't do that, so I'm always like putting like a nest down for her.
That's
and when
gross.
it's an emergency, it's or they just
Women
leave
are
their
horrible at
sanitary
bathrooms.
products on the floor next to the trash can. It's like,
Oh,
just
come
do it.
on. All right. There's some
Leave
things we
it
just
like
don't
that.
talk about.
Yeah, it's so
Oh.
gross. Women's bathrooms are the grossest.
Debbie goes, do you know how many times I've gone in when someone's coming out who just took the blankety blank and then people think it was me, of course, and I say it wasn't me. They look at me like, sure. Oh, see, guys take ownership of that. We're like, hey, man, I dropped the wife and the kids off at the pool. Enjoy. I just took the Browns to the Super Bowl. I negotiated the release of the chocolate hostage. I just stocked the lake with brown trout. I mean, we're guys. We do it all. That moment when you make eye contact through the crack, that is the most uncomfortable. That's like literally something out of Scream. That's like out of Scream. That's like The Shining. It's just like, it's terrifying. Like and someone's like, you see that giant eye just looking at you.
Oh, it's like a Freddy Krueger movie. Yeah.
It's horrible. Horrible. It's a great show, Ty. Okay, well, I don't know about great, but we're trying to have a good time tonight. Matt, thank you for your service, brother. Navy CB here, retired. Thanks, Ty. Nice. CB's a badass. One of the 4 who wear BDUs. Now, I guess they all wear BDUs now because the Navy's turned into a bunch of pussies and everybody has to wear BDUs. Joke.
Type
Remember the day, Leroy, when we got to wear BDUs because we actually earned them?
I had dungarees. And a glorious mane of hair way back in the day.
For NSWAG?
I didn't do that back then. My first round in the Navy, I was an electronic warfare technician. So I was.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so that's right. Yeah. I encroached upon NSWAG in 95, 96. So yeah, that's why we got BDUs. Yeah, but most ISs didn't get BDUs unless they were doing some TDY bullshit.
Unless you get sent out, yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we better get to it. CB's was my daughter's nickname. Dad was Navy. Rest stop bathrooms, and there's a line. I don't go into rest stop bathrooms. Nope.
How do you not do that?
Nope.
How do you not? What are you talking?
Go to the side of the road. Go to the side of the road.
Oh,
nope.
Yeah, women can't do that.
I'm not going into it. Yes, you can. You did it on the way to the freaking cabins to West Virginia last year.
There was no bathroom,
and you did it.
To go.
And you did it.
But if there's a toilet, I'm going to go to the
rest stop restrooms. In my eyes, are not an option. Not an option. People get killed in those things. It's also a horrible place for gay sex. It happens. Well, it used to be. Maybe that was the 80s.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. In the 80s, it was. Haven't you ever watched? There's Something About Mary, where Ben Stiller's like, I won't go to a rest stop. There's a bunch of it's all about gay sex. And then he gets there, and the one time he goes, all right, fine, I'll do it. And he gets there, and there's all the cops come, and they literally arrest everybody for having gay sex. And there's a guy who's going to murder him. If you go into a cubicle for a pee and someone else has urinated on the seat, do you clean it up or do you leave it and hope? I use my boot.
I go to a different stall.
I use my boot and I pick up the lid, and then I don't replicate the problem that person did. But I'll just go to another urinal, and then if they're all broken, at that point I'll just find another restroom. I can't do it. I'm not touching anyone else's stuff. Okay, Leroy washed his hands with. Okay, I'm not going to say that. I'm friggin' dying here. This is awesome. All right, let's get to this. We got work to do. We don't have time for this shit. If you want to call into the show,
there's a lot going on in the world today.
There is. Olivia, what's the phone number to the show?
You're gonna have to put it up because I don't know it.
Come on, Weather Girl. I mean, seriously.
Weather Girl.
Here's the number. It's 1-804-504-1955. Everybody, if you want to call in, you can call in. But once we hit our mojo, we got the mojo working. Do we have any Randy Newman?
No.
If anyone wants to sing a Randy Newman song, here's what it is. It's really simple. All right, I'm going to talk about what I did today. I went out to the driveway. I got into the car. I turned it on. I stepped on the gas. I drove that car down the road. And I said, hey, Dave. And Dave said, hey. And then I kept driving. And then, I got out of the car and I walked to the park and I saw a swing and I saw a restroom. And then I went into the restroom and I had gay sex. That's Randy Newman's music. You got a friend in me.
Literally.
You got a friend in me. How many fucking favors do people owe that guy? The only thing he did was like, I love LA. That really only that portion of the song was good. The rest sucked. This guy does music for every freaking movie. He's a multi-millionaire and he's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. The only one that I actually enjoyed was Major League, the theme to Major League.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh yeah, that was but even that wasn't good. I wasn't good. No,
it fit the movie. It fit the movie.
It's a good because now it's the Cleveland Guardians. You can't do the Cleveland Indians. Fucking get this. My daughter had her. Well, okay. After this, we'll get serious. My daughter was going to have her future. What is he? Boy toy? What is he?
No, he's now dating another girl. I guess they're just friends. I don't know.
Okay, the slut, because now he's dating another girl, so he's a slut.
Well, I don't know.
My daughter has a crush on the slut.
Not anymore. New boy now.
All right, so the slut wants to come over and have dinner. But instead of my daughter introducing him, we're going to say, instead of Tim, his name is Timothy. But the best friend of my son is named Tim. So when Hayden comes down, she goes, hey, Dad, can Tim come to dinner? And I'm like, of course Tim can come to dinner. Tim lives here. And then great. And then I hear somebody upstairs, and I notice there's a different weight of person in my house. Yes, I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Right? It's like I can tell by the footsteps who's in my house and the way they walk. So I know. So I'm immediately like, I pull out my sidearm and I'm like, who the fuck is in my house? And I'm like, oh, look, Hayden. And Hayden comes down and she goes, Dad, I'm coming down, because they have to, like, it's literally a down ladder in a sub, because I'm so fucking paranoid. I want to know who's coming down my stairs.
I heard you rack one.
So I tell him to announce their presence. So Hayden picks her up and goes, yes, Daddy. He said, Hayden, which Tim? And she goes, Timothy? I'm like, who the fuck is Timothy? And she's like, you know, the guy at school. I'm like, the whore? The slut?
The one with pits in his face?
The one with pits in his face? Daddy, those are dimples. They're pits.
When he smiles, I can see through his head.
I can see through his head. Those are pits. I'm too old for this shit. So anyway, Murtaugh. Give me 2. That's 2 different movies. I just did.
I thought it was Utah, not Murtaugh.
Murtaugh.
I was bringing in Point Break and Lethal Weapon, the greatest movie references combined together. God. Anyway, so I'm like, Hayden. And she goes, well, it's Timothy. And I said, well, go get him. I want to meet him. And she goes, I thought you met. I'm like, Hayden, don't even start with that shit. You know I didn't meet him. Go get him. And she goes, are you sure you didn't meet him? Because I would have sworn you. I said, Hayden, the reason why he's not dating you now is because I said he couldn't date you and go on a date with you until he met me. And he pussed out and was too much of a chicken shit. And then he decided he wanted to go and date someone else. So go get him. Okay. Oh, Timothy. So I see Tim and I go up and I go, hey, how are you? And he goes, I'm fine, sir. And I said, are you nervous? And he goes, no. And I said, good. My name's Matt. Nice to meet you. And I went downstairs. Now, this genius had a Washington Commanders hat on. Now, I got to give him props. He took his hat off when he entered my home. Number 1. Good man, right? Good man. Immediate. Okay, that's not too bad. You're only slightly a slut at this point. Now, the next thing he did is I bought the kids these squishy balls. You have one over there?
You know what? I don't.
Okay. Anyway, squishy balls. No, that's not code for something. And I got them from Amazon. And all the kids love them. Well, they stick to the ceiling when you throw them. So this genius throws it and it sticks to the ceiling. Now I've got like 18-foot vaulteds and they can't get it down. And they're afraid that I'm going to be mad and that somehow I'm going to kill Timothy, which I don't care. It's just a little $1.99 ball. So he grabs his Washington Commanders hat and he throws it to get it out and hit the ball. Instead, it flies over the cabinets, back the falsetto wall in the refrigerator area, which is fully paneled off. The hat's gone forever. So they go, Dad, we need you to get our hat. And I said, why? And they said, well, Dad, we're playing ball and we're bouncing the ball and then we threw the ball and then we're in the kitchen and then, oh my God, then we saw a dove and then that dove flew and then we went ahead and got some peanut butter and then and I'm like, okay, just fuck it. I don't care. What do you need? Go get the hat. So I climb up the freaking ladder and I look for this hat. There's no hat to be found. I realized it fell through. And I'm like, Timothy, your hat's gone forever. It fell behind the wall. And he gets this dumbfounded look like he wants me to like literally get out the freaking blowtorch and settling torch and bandsaw and cut through my cabinets to get this hat. And I said, hey, Timothy, get used to disappointment. They're a piece of shit team anyway. And I just went downstairs and sat down and played my guy. I'm hoping he'll come back. We'll see.
All right.
Talk on the mic. Talk in the mic.
Can I say his real name?
No, Timothy is his name. Say it on the mic.
I think I know who you're talking
Hayden,
about.
say it on the mic. They can't hear you.
I just said that I think I know who you're talking
They
about.
can't hear you until you go up to the mic.
I said I think I know who you're talking
And
about.
who are we talking about?
I can't say his name.
No, but Timothy would be the correct guy. Your boy toy. Is that
Good
the boy?
Lord.
He's my ex.
He's your
There
ex.
was a
You dated him
diff-
for like 10 seconds. Get out of my room.
No, it wasn't 10.
Get out of my room. Get out of my room. He wouldn't meet me, so he broke up with you. Yeah, the guy's a real winner.
not what
Whatever. I saved you a baby in a trailer. Get out of here. I love you. All right.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
good.
Are we ready? Are we ready?
Oh, what a start to
Yes.
the show.
That was a fun start. That was a good. That's probably one of the best starts we've had. I'm sorry. I'm in the mood. I told you, folks. There's a lot going on. Now I'm gonna give it up to the group here and the panel because I want you. I literally just took the entire first 15 minutes, and I apologize. Do we want to start off with Donald Trump and this supposed indictment? Do we want to jump into the ouchie Fauci getting literally destroyed in the ghetto? In the ghetto. Dr. Fauci visited the ghetto, and a citizen of the ghetto literally bitch slapped him all around the world. And Fauci was in the ghetto. And in the ghetto,
worst.
he in the ghetto, Dr. Fauci. We have a Dr. Fauci voice too, please. Can you
Yeah.
can you double it up? Can I get a double quarter pounder, please?
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
That would be impossible.
All right, so Dr. Fauci gets bitch slapped in the ghetto. And then the next one we have is the NHL, which, trust me, it's not going to be about the hockey, so everyone can relax and not turn it off now, you jerks, even though it's the greatest sport in the world. But the NHL is taking a stand against Pride Night. And this is something that the NHL was forced to do. And there are players that are saying, you know what? No, we're not going to do it. And here's why we're not going to do it. And I really want to talk about that. We also have some other things to talk about. What do we want to start with? Can we get a vote here? Leroy.
Fauci for me.
I was going to say Fauci as well. I was just
gonna say
watching the
NHL.
video before we went live, so
So we want to watch Fauci? Is that what we're hearing?
it's so
Hell
good.
yeah.
All right, so let's watch the Fauci interview. Now, has everyone seen it?
No.
No.
Okay.
Someone sent it to me like an hour ago, so I was just watching it again because it was great.
It really was. I mean, that's the best way that I can say it. All right, let's do this. Let's just do it. All right, Fauci, ouchie. Here it is. Now, if you haven't seen this video, I want to preface. Fauci goes in the field with somebody who looks completely useless, like they work for the World Health Organization or the CDC, or she's the vaccine Gestapo Uber lieutenant from freaking Germany, whatever. She works for the Third Reich. And of course she's black, because you're not walking into a neighborhood with Dr. Fauci he's about as white as Barry Manilow. Okay. Dr. Fauci's going to get robbed and he's going to go missing. Right.
Right.
And that would be a bad thing?
No, it wouldn't. But the whole point is we wouldn't have gotten this priceless video. So, of course, they bring a full minority crew because they need to. Otherwise, they're going to get tossed. Listen, and this isn't a racial thing. This is the minority community has absolutely every right to distrust the government. After Tuskegee and after the way that, please, okay? No way does the minority community trust our government, and they shouldn't. But here we go. I want you to watch this because it's really good. I mean, it's not about what Fauci says. It's what the citizen says, and literally just has balls of titanium. Here it is. I know you can't hear it. See, I'm getting good at that. I know now. All the time. And let's do it there. And you should be able to hear it now.
Are not settled.
There we go.
The information that's been given to us.
First of all, I'm expecting this guy to be like, why don't you get those mother effing snakes off my plane? He sounds like, say what again, mother? Say what again?
But the
Just some
beginning
cold
of
shit to say to a brother right before I put a cap in his ass.
Shut your face!
Wait,
If
do
we
you
want to
have-
hear you talk, I will shove my arm up your ass and work your mouth like a puppet.
That's right.
Do
Samuel
you
L.
have
Jackson. Go ahead,
the
Amy.
beginning where Fauci is describing the area he's in and calling it, he's like, this
Well,
is called
I
a
don't.
ward, and this is like not even like
No,
a
but
project,
add that
it's
to it. Will you
called-
let me show it? Then you add it to it. Here it is.
People in America are not settled with the information that's been given to us right now. So I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot
at her face.
or a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot in miraculous time. It takes years to create vaccination.
Well, it used to take years.
Okay, it used to. It
You
used
know
to
how
take years.
many years were invested in this approach? About 20 years of science to get us to be able
20
to
years
do
is
it
not
quickly.
enough. And 9 months is definitely not
No.
enough for nobody to be taking no vaccination that you all came up with.
The only reason I'm talking to you right now, as close as we are, is that I've been vaccinated.
Right.
But if it allows thousands of people like you don't get vaccinated, you're going to let this virus continue to percolate in this country and in this world.
Something like the common flu then, right?
And that's like that's
It's much more serious than the flu.
Well, the flu kills a lot of people.
Damn.
You know how many people died of the flu the last year? I mean, not this year, virtually none. but
Well,
the
record
previous
low.
year, about 20.
And why don't you explain that phenomena to us? Why don't you tell us why that is? Why was it literally in the 300,000s up until COVID hitting? Please educate us as to why. Masks, hand sanitizer, quarantining. So it worked on the flu, but it didn't work on COVID, which means that you're full of shit.
20 to 30,000. You know how many people have died from COVID-19 in the United States?
Watch this guy.
600,000 Americans.
Well, the number that you all giving that died, that's once again, that's you all's number.
You gonna pass?
Yeah, definitely.
All
Because when you start talking about paying people to get vaccinated, when you start talking about incentivizing things to get people vaccinated, there's something else going on with that. Something else going on.
It
with
is
that.
something going
Yeah.
on with
Something
it.
else
You're
going
right.
on
But
with
I'm glad millions of people like me and most everybody here didn't get an incentive. You know what their incentive was? Protecting their health and protecting the city. But that's, I won't keep you anymore.
It's okay, because
Thank you
my
for
incentive, y'all campaign is about fear. It's about inciting fear in people. You all attack people with fear. That's what this pandemic is. It's a fear. It's fear, this pandemic. That's all it is.
Love him.
Look at Fauci. He puts on hand sanitizer. He's like, oh man, I'll tell you what. I guarantee I caught something here. I caught something in the ghetto. What a racist fuck. I mean, seriously.
Oh, he's so
I'm
racist.
sorry. Listen, okay. So I'm not going to go first. I'm going to give it to Leroy. He wanted this one bad. Amy, you're going to get Trump. Olivia's going to get NHL because Olivia's chomping at the bit for that. She's a huge NHL fan. So Leroy, take it away.
So the fact of the matter is that Fauci is completely, in every statistic that he'd ever given, it's always tainted in some way. And what this guy was saying was spot on. The only thing that he didn't say was that, hey, if I still get the shot, I won't get it, right? That's what you said at one point, Fauci. I won't get it and I won't spread it. Both of which turned out to be false. Because not only can you get it, but you can still spread it. So it does nothing. And in the meantime, not a year before all of this happened, he was sitting there on national TV saying that, your best protection against getting something like the flu is to get the flu because you have no better protection than your natural immunity. And now all of a sudden he shifted those gears, flipped that over and said, no, in this case, we don't want you to have natural immunity. You need this shot. So the guy is just, he makes my blood boil.
Slightly. Go ahead.
I just
Hey,
want
do
to add.
I have any mods? Do I have any moderators on? Somebody get rid of this Tom William douchebag who's trying to hit on people, who's obviously just trying to scam people out of their money. Olivia, do you have access? All you got to do is click their name just like you do and just block their ass
I'm looking.
in the chat. Okay. Hold on a second. I got to get rid of this jag-off.
That's a technical term.
It is. If you guys see these guys, just get rid of them. Just ban them. 120%. Get rid of them. Hold on. Did you find it?
I'm trying. Okay.
All right, Amy, go ahead. I don't want to hold you up. Go.
No, I was just gonna say I'll send you guys the link that I watched earlier. Someone sent it to me from Fox News, but I guess Fauci it's a new TV show that he's trying to peddle. So instead of like selling Girl Scout cookies door to door, he is going to sell the vaccine door to door.
Just block there.
And the beginning of it is like how he basically is talking so badly about the people in the parts of the city that he is going to help by selling this vaccine. It's so disgusting. The way he's just down talking the quality of, life there. And it's like, well, these people live here. Maybe you could give them something better than paying them to get the vaccine. How about just give them some money to go to the grocery store because we can't afford.
Yeah, isn't he worth like $175 million now or some shit?
It's just absolutely disgusting. It's horrible.
So he's literally going from door to door. Is that right, Amy?
Literally with the mayor.
Yeah, he's going door to. He's literally peddling the vaccine door to door, and he's trying to set up his new reality TV show or some shit.
So much for quarantining, then. I mean, that's how you spread it.
Well,
right.
He put his mask on and used sanitizer, Leroy, and he's vaccinated like probably more than anyone else. He probably is. His whole DNA is vaccine right now.
Okay.
So like, it used to be like Hoover boy or Hoover guy, and then Avon lady. I wonder what his tag's going to be.
Oh my God. Fauci ouchie calling.
Fauci ouchie time.
That's good.
It's Fauci ouchie time. Let me see your arm.
Jab so you don't end up in a lab.
Hey, you guys can do heroin. You can get a little vaccine too. Sir.
Yeah.
That's his slogan.
Yeah.
Hey, it's better than you guys smoking crack.
We get to
better than you guys having another baby. Have a vaccine.
I will trade you your Mexican-bought fentanyl for one dose.
Right.
Of COVID relief.
Hey, if you guys have some grape juice and a Big Mac in there, I'll go ahead and get you guys a free shot. This guy's a fucking racist.
He's horrible.
To go in there, that guy's a hero. Like,
is he only going into the minority neighborhoods?
Of course he's going into minority because the most skeptical demographic of people are African American, and they have every right to be. Every right to be after what the government has done to them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Every right for African Americans to say, fuck that. I ain't doing that again. I don't blame them at all because white people were even skeptical, and we have even less reason to be that way. And we're kind of like, we got you. It was the one thing that minorities and supposedly this racial division that's happening in the United States that we agreed on unequivocally. Everyone's like, oh, I ain't taking that shit. So it's racist. And for him to sit here and go into these neighborhoods like he's going to be convincing anyone that is opposing are opposing for a reason. And they don't like him. Nobody likes Fauci except for the frickin' left and the media.
Right.
He's not
And
trustworthy.
It's not that they like him. They actually need him. They only need him because he's in a huge political position and his title carries some clout. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely racist. And I love what the guy said. You sit here, you're paying to have it done. There's got to be a problem because the government doesn't give away money unless it's trying to stop something from happening. And we know what it's trying to stop from happening. It's all about control. It's all about control. It's always been about control. It's always been about do what we say, not what we do. And this whole thing, I mean, the day that Fauci disappears, but he's going to become a doctor on CNN. He's going to literally become like the head health and medical professional of CNN headquarters at some point.
He's going to have his own TV show like Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Well, he's got his own reality show now. So I don't know what it's called, but it's a show. Like he's making a show. I don't know who's going to run it, but
I think we got it. I think Amy just sent it to me.
Yeah, I sent you the link for the Fox, but they have a couple of clips on there that I watched. It was
all right. Well, let's watch it. I mean, that's why we're here, right? Let's give this a.
We could call it Punked, but I think that title was already taken.
Oh, that's
Copyright
copyright law.
Ashton Kutcher.
Not that one. Play the next one. That one. Don't.
Which one? Play this one down here.
That one. That's good.
Isn't this just what I played?
It's 7 minutes. It's a little bit longer.
These
but
days,
I don't want to watch it for 7 minutes.
Just watch like the first minute and a half.
Okay. Let me mute it so I don't get this ad here. All right. So
what got me was that lady who was saying, if you don't get the vaccine, you're the reason that this is going to continue to spread. Yeah. Are you serious? My dad has gotten every single booster and he's gotten COVID 5 times.
Yeah.
My mom has gotten every booster, and she's gotten it 3 times.
And he had knee replacement surgery a
And
couple years ago.
open
Now
heart
he
surgery.
has a knee growing out of his anus. So that's really going to impact his time at the rest stops. So
God, I hope he's not watching tonight.
he doesn't watch this show, and he knows I love him.
He's probably already in bed.
He's probably sleeping already. So, all right. So Dr. Fauci with his mask, he's still wearing a mask. This dude,
Ouchie Fauci hour. That's a good one.
This guy's such a douche.
He would have better luck if he went on like something like Joel Osteen, for sake. They both peddle the same amount of shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is Anacostia, historic African American neighborhood. In New York, they have neighborhoods. Here they have wards. So this is Ward 8. It's the typical social determinants of health, where they don't get good medical care, they have a high degree of HIV, high degree of COVID-19, the lowest level of vaccination. They're sort of the disenfranchised group that we got to reach out to. So the mayor is now with me going to congratulate the people who are going to go out into the community to try and get people vaccinated. Hi, Madam Mayor. Nice to see you. A real pleasure. Great to be. Oh, it's my pleasure. Good to be here with you.
It's going to be fun today.
First of all, Muriel Bowser is probably the most worthless human fucking being on the planet. Yeah. We might as well live in DC, because if you live in Virginia, you live in Maryland, you live in Pennsylvania, you pretty much live in DC. That's just the way it works, because every asshole who works in DC lives in our states, and they bring their bullshit leftist politics to our area. And that's just the way it works. And they're overtaking us. I mean, they're moving out. Like, I'm not going to sell. Like, even if I can, I'm not selling. Like, I'll rent this son of a bitch out to the most freaking Trump-driven human being on the planet, just so I can continue to, keep some market share. But this lady is horrendous. And did you see how she talked to the citizen like he was second class? And once she got her last word in, she just steamrolled over him. And it's like, you just got embarrassed by a guy probably with a high school degree who takes all your freaking Harvard, Yale bullshit degrees and uppity education and makes you all look like punks.
His ass with him. Yeah.
Yeah, he wiped his ass with it.
Yeah, because that guy he pays attention. He actually listens and watches and reads and probably understands way more than she ever will. Oh, God,
yeah, and he's a soccer fan, which shows his level of intellect, because anyone who can sit through that shit has to be self-aggrandizing and intelligent in some sort of fashion to be utterly alone for the rest of their life because he's a soccer fan.
Well, and that's kind of the typical leftist, if you're in a position of power and you're a leftist, then you automatically have like this air of condescension towards everyone. Like, look,
especially
you must listen to me.
Especially people of color, right? They think democracy, that the Democratic Party is a religion of some sort. It's like, hey, either you do this or you're going to be defrocked. We're going to cast you out from the Democrat Party, which doesn't surprise, but that's what it is. It's either get in line, don't vote for Trump, get the vaccine, do what the government says, or we're not going to give you your monthly stipend for being a good little clone and sheep.
Maybe the Church of Scientology has overtaken the Democratic Party.
Church of Scientology.
Live. I mean, if she has that soundbite of Biden saying, if you have a problem figuring out voting for me or for Trump, then I mean that's the perfect scenario for that. That's the perfect example.
Yep, it's awful.
Anyway,
you got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Pretty clear.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
And already, I think they told me they have more people that been this morning than they usually have at this site all day.
Really?
Yes.
Fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
There's like 4 people there.
All right, let's take a view.
Dr. Fauci. You want a picture? Is she actually going to cry?
Are you fucking kidding me? Is she crying out of fear?
Yes, she's like,
it's like, is this person going to retroactively abort my children? Is that what is that what she's thinking? Are you a Terminator sent from the fucking past to go ahead and alter my future? Why is she crying? And she's ecstatic to see him. It's like a celebrity. If I saw him, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing here? That's what I would say. The fuck are you doing here?
He's only there to tell you more about what you should do.
Right.
I'm here to tell you what to do. Love me.
Yeah.
How
many boosters have you had? That's not enough. Just get 4
right.
more.
She's like 3. You don't qualify. Don't ever talk to me again, you peasant.
Right.
Get current with your shots. Get your passport up to date, and you and I can talk. Until then, suck my left toe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I'm cussing so much. I don't like this guy. I hate this guy. Is the epitome of tyrannical rule.
I hate him too.
I didn't vote for this jackass. Why is he making policy? I mean, that's the number one question. Why is this guy making legislation in the United States of America and still, didn't he retire? Why is he still relevant?
I mean, this is back when Trump was listening to him, but it was under Fauci's advice where they said, the 2 weeks to flatten the curve, right? That was Fauci. That was his call.
Right. It was his call. Well, we don't have to just go with that. We can go with the NIH literally impacting the World Health Organization and the CDC. Yep. The National Institute of Health literally set policy for the United States for a little over 2 years, when we could open schools, when we could open our businesses, where we could go, when we could go, how we could go, how we had to act while we were there, what we could say, what we couldn't say, ran the social media and decided what they would let us do and not do. It was insane. Hey, Livy, could you mind? I love you. Thank you.
All right. We had big corporations here. And the only exemptions to those policies were the big corporations. It was the Walmarts. It was Home Depot. It was anyone other than a mom and pop shop.
Right. Well, and we know why, because we're going to make such a detrimental impact to the economy. If we shut down the corporations too, we're going to have to bail them all out. So let's leave them open. And let's go ahead and shut down the mom and pops, because that's acceptable loss, right? That's acceptable loss to close the small business, because 96% of the businesses out there are small business, and we can afford to take a hit or two on those. But we can't lose any corporations. So we got to make sure we keep all of them open and allow them to continue to do what they're doing. This is the mentality of idiots running our country. All right, let's watch the rest of this real quick.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for getting vaccinated.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Thou shalt not worship and idolize false prophets and false deities.
Right.
Just saying. I mean, that's the reaction I would say if Jesus came. I'd be like, oh my God. Oh, literally.
Show, and we tell them how many people are not vaccinated in our area and have them come out to Western Loudoun County.
Oh, I would love for him to show up to Round. Can you imagine if he showed up to Tammy's Diner? We'd be like, get a rope.
Oh my God.
I want to give a special thank you to our fellow Washingtonian, Dr. Tony Fauci. Let's hear it for Dr.
Did she just call him the resident draconian? No. No. Did I hear that right? The resident draconian? Is that what I heard? Hold on. Maybe Muriel Bowser's now my favorite person. Let's listen.
I want to give a special thank you to our fellow Washingtonian, Dr. Tony Fauci. Let's hear it for Dr. Fauci.
See how she called him Tony? All right.
It's really
so who knows something about politics? Why did she call him Tony? Does anyone know why? Has anyone ever heard him referred to as Tony Fauci?
No.
No. Do you want to know why they call him Tony? Why, Leroy?
Because they're trying to humanize him. They're trying to make him like one of the guys.
They're trying to humanize him to the black community, where Tony is a very popular name within the black community. That's why. Mm-hmm. It's just like hot sauce in your purse. It's just like, yes, I have hot sauce. Of course I have hot sauce. Man, it sounds like you're pandering. Is it working?
Should be here in this ward. I've been a resident of the district for 50 years.
And I'm your warden?
Right.
Warden Fauci?
No one likes that. I don't care what color your skin is. No one likes that term. It's
horrible. Of course not. Hey, which cell block are y'all in?
Right.
Hey, I know you guys got yard time here in a few minutes, but just hold up while I can talk to you, because I know the chow is going to be really good. Cornbread with some collard greens and some things something that tastes like chicken, but it's probably rat. So give me 5 minutes, and then we're going to let you guys go ahead to arts and crafts, where you guys can go ahead and build a stucco lamp.
Your wallet. Yeah.
Make your wallets and license plate. What a fucking dick. I'd be like, if I said, you know what? Fuck you, man. Why are you calling it a ward? We're people. Yeah. This is a town. This is a municipality. If you Democrats would actually show up here other than any other time than to get elected during voting time, possibly we would show you a modicum of respect. Folks, I'm sorry. I apologize for the cussing, but I'm frustrated. This guy is a pandering dick.
can't believe how many people I've seen taking video.
It's
creepy.
Dude, if they're paying people to get the jab, you don't think they're paying people to stand there?
Yeah.
Come on.
He has it
Hey,
on
we just
perfectly
happen to have a
well.
little per diem money here. Here's 100. Okay. Does that sound good? Stand right here. I'll go. I would go.
I love this city.
I would.
So that's one of the reasons why I'm here.
We do it with
I'd like to believe people listen to me, but some don't. But when you have people who are part of the community, you know, the community core, the trusted messengers, those are the ones they listen to.
This is the most painful thing
So that's the reason why we need you to get out there and
faces.
tell your colleagues, tell your friends, tell your loved ones why it's so important to get vaccinated. So once again, thank you so much for all you do. We look forward to working.
All right, I'm done watching this guy. Yeah. This guy is literally, he's got a Napoleon complex. Yeah. I mean, if you don't trust science, or if you don't trust me, you don't trust science. That's a direct quote. He's basically saying that he is Jehovah.
Science. Yeah.
He's God. He's the word of God. And everyone else are his disciples or his followers. And if you don't follow what I say, you're betraying God, and you're forever going to be in eternal damnation or catch COVID, whichever one comes first. This guy has done more damage to the United States than every president and every politician for the last 100 years.
That's true.
This guy is one of the biggest narcissistic, and dare I say, if it's true about the gain of function research and everything's looking like it is, then this guy is the largest mass murderer in U.S. history.
Yep.
And I don't take that lightly when I say that, because it's a very serious thing to say. But if he did pay for the gain of function research, if he was aware that it was released out of China, if he understood the potential of its dangers without looking for something to inoculate it, once you create it, the next step is to inoculate it. I don't know whether you know this or not, but any massive bioweapon that's created, you don't release it, you don't alter it, you don't step forward until you know how to inoculate it and stop it. Because the last thing you want is a weapon that's going to turn against you. So the fact that they created this possibly in 2017, even though we know that the first SARS was 2001, and this variation of SARS-2, 2017, supposedly created in the Wuhan lab, is what we're all saying because of gain of function research, and then was released. We're getting confirmation. FBI now says they're 99.9% sure that it was released out of the Wuhan lab, but you still have people say, oh, well, they're not quite sure. They've got many possibilities. Bullshit. There was only two. One is that somebody fucked a bat. Or two, or right, somebody, you know, Batman, or it was gain of function research and was released accidentally, inadvertently. I don't know which one. The point is that this guy is the number one culprit who paid for the funding, who knew about the research, who lied about it. And now here's something else. It's going to go right into the Donald Trump thing. And this should blow everybody away. You've got receipts now of Joe Biden and family where they can actually track $1 million being given to the Biden family from China's CCP.
Yeah.
That's the Communist Party of China. Chinese Communist Party. That's the American name of it. And you have money going to Biden from communist China, and people are scratching their heads and have been saying the following: why is he so soft on China? What is up with this balloon thing? Why won't he call them out about the virus? Why are they saying that it's not the China virus? Why are they changing the vernacular? Why are they lauding that China is, you know, from the NBA, from the Uyghurs to their hostilities toward Taiwan? Why won't we stand behind Taiwan? What's going on? Why are we so weak on China? And the only thing that you can say, especially after you see what they're going to do to Donald Trump tomorrow, is that Joe Biden and the Democrats have surrendered to the Chinese being the leading superpower of the world, have surrendered America's position. Because listen to their vernacular. And if you think I'm crazy, listen to KJP, Kion Jean-Pierre, on stage when she says the following: we need to chase China's economic policy. We need to keep up with their military. We need to follow their lead in geopolitical and energy and innovation. What the since when do we ever follow China? Since when do we ever emulate any other country? If you actually think that I'm wrong, I want to hear it, because I truly believe that this administration, with the amount of money that China's investing into U.S. property, with as much money as they're investing in U.S. business, as much of our national debt that they own, almost $16 trillion of our debt, are we not all just a little bit terrified that we're being sold out to China? I want to get your thoughts. And if I'm crazy, then explain the millions of dollars and the 11 other transaction and deposits that were made that they haven't even investigated yet. They haven't even found out how many millions of dollars Joe Biden has gotten from China directly, the government. Go ahead, Leroy. No, Amy was first.
Wow.
Amy, you go.
I was going to say.
It's Amy's first.
Oh, I was. I mean, I feel like I feel like I've said everything I can say about this, other than what happened to the conspiracy theory, and it was a conspiracy theory, about the guy who was in the Wuhan lab who was working on the actual vaccine before this vaccine.
I don't know.
Wasn't there? Yeah, I thought there was like a guy, and like he ended up disappearing or something. I don't remember the whole thing. But
I don't know about that. All I'm talking about is China's influence on Joe Biden and our weakness in the geopolitical stage when it comes to China.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I don't have as much input as Leroy will have on that, but I will say it sounds from a complete, just normal, everyday citizen. I question a lot of the things that are happening with China, and knowing how close they are tied into Russia, it makes me like really take a step back and look at every little thing that they're doing. And I'm not stupid, but I'm also, I know everything's calculated, and I know everything's optics, and I know what's presented to us is not the full truth or even a little bit of the truth most of the time. So yeah, I mean, I have a lot of questions, but I'm not on the inside like some of y'all, so I don't know what's going on.
It's not about that. It's just, okay, real quick. Nancy Jennings says, what pisses me off are so many professionals, both in the military and medical fields, were forced to lose their jobs to Fauci's BS. Says, damn, Matt, what about all those people that were fired from their jobs? Can they sue the hell out of this jerk? They can't specifically go after one individual. That's not the way this works. They could sue the U.S. government in a class action lawsuit. It's been done before. Yep. Minority groups have sued the U.S. government. Women have sued the U.S. government. You have the right to petition. But the thing is what are you suing for? If you lost your job because of a federal mandate, unfortunately, the federal government can decide to terminate your employment on a whim. And there is nothing you can do about it, because they are a complete right to work. Just like they can release anyone in the military for any reason they want. Same with federal work. There's no protection for you, unfortunately. But in the civilian sector, nurses, yes, contractors, whatever, you have every right. And if you stand together, what I would do, if you just want to be the honest God truth, is I would try to form a union and watch how quickly you get what you want. The one thing you can do in any corporate environment is start talking union, and the entire corporate structure will shit a purple Twinkie and die twice to get it to stop. They will do whatever it takes. And if you say, listen, I need a union lawyer, I can't afford it, we're going to do a class action lawsuit, we're going to unionize, and we're coming together, that's a little bit of a different story. But honestly, if you were fired because you would not get the vaccine, and you can prove that you were pregnant, you were nursing, your Christian faith or your religion, whatever it is, and you can find others, the best thing you can do is do a class action lawsuit. Leroy, go ahead.
What I was going to say was, I blame a lot of this specifically on the medium. And what I mean by that is the media has largely gone, they have just completely ignored certain stories, right? So when we're talking about the classified documents, when you're talking about Hunter Biden's laptop, when you're talking about the newest thing, right? Which is with, where was I headed with this? With the money from China going to Joe Biden. So many of these stories have just not been covered that I don't think it's going to get as much. It should be covered, but I don't think it's going to get nearly the attention that it should. And that's part of the problem. And if it turns out that it was true that they had been receiving, $1 million+ from China, that's a problem, folks. That's a foreign power paying your president to do God knows what, to stay out of things. I don't know. But we should know. I mean, just in the interest of transparency, that should be something that is brought into light. But again, the media is not going to cover it. And so when we're talking about that kind of thing, about Karine Jean-Pierre actually saying, that we should be following China, I completely agree with you, Matt. I do. We should never be a nation that follows. Never. That being said, I mean, are they essentially being paid to say that? Are they being paid to kind of put us in a subservient position? Yeah.
I don't even know if it's that. I wonder if I don't know if I believe that, but it's them protecting their own interests. Listen, you're buying a seat at the table. This is seed money. It's exactly what it is. It's seed at the table, not seed. And seed money, where you plant a seed and then ultimately you get the fruits of the labor of that payment. You're buying influence. Right. Just like LeBron James cares about some sort of bullshit myth that the thin blue line kills unarmed black people, but doesn't give a fuck about Uyghur in China and the slaves that are run by the Chinese government and the indiscriminate murder and genocide that's taking place there. It's the same thing. He's paid to look the other way because his fortune is paid by China. Well, if you have the Bidens receiving millions of dollars from the CCP, it's not like it's Panda Express here, folks, who's giving them some money. And Panda Express isn't owned by the Chinese, but it was the most racial thing I could think of at the point. But my point is, it's the fucking Chinese Communist Party. Let me ask you a question. If you saw that the NNP was giving money to Donald Trump, how would you feel? So tell me how you feel right now. All of a sudden, you look at the bottom, you look at the spreadsheet, and the receipt says the NNP. Is that the National Nanotechnology Pavilion? Is it the Nutter Putters Butter? Creamy Jiffy ice cream / peanut butter and jelly Dreyer's brand treat?
It's peanut butter pops.
Is the NNP the Nexus Nebula pontification of public porosity? What is NNP? How about the Nazi Nationalist Party?
Oh, that's.
And what if the NNP gave Donald Trump $1 million? What do you think that the entire fucking liberal and media and Democrats and every person in America who did not vote for Trump would do?
Well, wasn't that the narrative, though?
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make.
During the last administration, that was the narrative from the left, from CNN to MSNBC, all said that Trump was in bed with Russia. And every time you turned on the social media post, they all said that it was, oh, well, Putin is Trump's best friend.
Xi Jinping is his lover, and so is Kim Jong-un.
Didn't they impeach Trump for this whole quid pro quo thing?
Hold on a second. We're almost there. We're getting there. I'm making my case. The point is that if we saw, everyone says Republicans are Nazis. That's the Democrat talking point, right? Right. Okay. Everyone says that the left are a bunch of socialists, right? Right. So if Joe Biden takes $1 million from socialist, is it the same equivalency as Donald Trump taking $1 million from the Nationalist Nazi Party? Yes. It's the same level of significance, considering 100 million people were killed by communist socialist rule, which is a hell of a lot more than the Nazis killed. Not that you're going ahead and trying to say that one's better than the other, but a 10-to-1 ratio of murdering people and being responsible for their death is a hell of a lot worse. The Nazis were fucking horrible. So are socialists. So you can sit here and make the same equivocation and same questions and ask yourself, why is an American president taking money from a regime and a moniker that associate with killing 100 million people? And why is anyone okay with that? And what is he getting for his money? What's he getting for his money?
Right.
Yeah. I want the media to cover that.
But the only time we're going to cover it. Now I want to be fair. CNN, MSNBC are all covering it because they know that this is unraveling. First of all, everyone who's worried about Donald Trump, stop it. He's not going to get arrested.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, I'm willing to almost put my entire show at risk and hand you the keys if you see him out in handcuffs. It's not going to happen. The Democrats don't want that. The Democrats have no desire to have that happen. First of all, he will own the state of New York. Donald Trump's already been tried on this on the federal level. The fucking woman had to pay him $130,000, folks. Not only did he give her money to shut the fuck up, she had to give it back to him. That's how fucking wrong she was. I want you to think about that. You're such a bad prostitute and a whore that you fuck a guy, he pays you, you then blackmail him, he pays you again, and then you got to not only pay for the whore, the blackmail, but he gets a free fuck out of it. That's how bad of a whore she is. She had to pay Donald Trump to fuck him. Donald Trump's a mastermind. He should be heralded. There should be a movie made out of that. How I fucked a whore for free.
Oh my God.
I'm at a point where I'm kidding, but I'm not. I'm disgusted by this. I have went after Donald Trump harder than just about anybody on the air. I go after him hard. I say the last year and a half has been a giant shit show, and he has lowered his credibility with me to a point where I can't believe I'm so fervently defending him. But this is just to distract from Joe Biden. This is a complete political move. I called it last week when I said this whole fucking thing was a sham, and it was just to cover up the information that the Republicans are finding out on Hunter Biden. I told you that they maligned him with Vladimir Putin. You want to know what the talking point was on CNN and MSNBC? I said it 24 hours before. I said, guys, Vladimir Putin arrest warrant goes out, and all of a sudden they say they're going to arrest Trump. They're trying to malign him with Trump. Every single news station on Saturday morning, every one of them, go back and look. Every freaking station, you know what they said? Well, I'm just so happy that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are finally being held accountable for what they did to America. That was the talking point, just like I fucking told you. This is the same thing. Donald Trump, the arrest of Donald Trump, it is probably going to be 2 hours. It'll probably be done by teleconference. It's not going to be done in New York because it's a safety concern. They're probably going to do it via Skype. They are going to tell him the charges, tell him the finding. They're going to verbally tell him that he can't leave the state, can't leave the country. He's under indictment. Here's the penalties. This is the arraignment. This is it. And it'll all be done via conference. We probably won't even see what happens.
Right.
But the left is going batshit crazy. They're making posts. They're showing handcuffs of Donald Trump with his head cut into it. This is the day, God, thank Jesus. It's like now they care about God. That Donald Trump is going down. And I'm telling you right now, this is one of the biggest fiascos and biggest bullshit stories ever. I'm opening up for comment. I apologize, but I'm so frustrated.
Well, the only thing I could think of was that the last time there was a goose egg this big was when Geraldo tried to break into a safe that was owned by the mob. Here's the problem.
It was 7 years ago. Seven years.
Isn't it past the time?
No, it's not past the statute of limitations. It was a civil proceeding. The criminal charges are indefinite. Because he upgraded it to a felony, he can do that. It's not a misdemeanor anymore. But that's the problem. Hold on. I'm sorry. I got to keep going. This guy has a 55% lower rate in convictions. Okay, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm sorry. I love you, but I got to go. I don't care what you have to say yet. I want you to see this. Then you can tell me what you think. I'm pissed. You like me like this. Trust me. You know you do.
I do.
All right, here it is. Oh, so mad. So freaking mad. Hold on, everybody.
It's all about the optics.
Dude, this is all it is. And I'm going to show you why. And then I want all your opinions. I really do. I want to hear from y'all. Just bear with me. Here it is. Here's transient crime. Oh, come on. I was looking through some of these numbers and I'm absolutely in shock. I cannot get this to work. My screen's having problems. Liv, where's
What are you looking for?
All right. Well,
my screen's having. Hold on, Leroy. Just say it real quick, but get ready to stop because I want to do this.
Okay. All I was going to say was this is basically just a control of the optics, right? As long as they can keep him in the headlines in a negative light, they don't care. And they know it's bullshit. There's no way they can gain a conviction out of this. But that's not what they're after. They're just after the indictment and the virtual imagery of him in handcuffs. And that's all that will be all that is required to shift a certain percentage of votes that they know that they can't win because they don't have mail-in voting at their disposal this time. That's all it's for.
So quickly, I'm just going to go through these. And listen, I do care what you have to say. You know that. I don't mean that. I'm just pissed.
I know.
Transient crime in New York City is up 41.7%. Now, why? Why is it up? Well, first of all, the Defund the Police initiative, the mayor of New York, the deputy chief, commissioner, the district attorneys, all are on this no cash bail bullshit. So they're releasing criminals back in the street. They're also lowering the amount of felonies to misdemeanors so people don't have to stay and they're released on their own recognizance. Sound effects are awesome. Figure it out. Find some. Do your job, weather girl. So thank you. Nice. Gavel, hammer. So that's number one, 41.7%. Here's the next one. Thanks, Libby.
You're welcome.
Crime in New York City, felony assaults. I'm going to zoom this into you. I mean, these numbers are absolutely staggering. 20,000 up to 23,747 on felony assaults, 13.2%. Murders are actually down because you kill people less when you get away with more. Do you understand? If people know, well, I'm going to get away with it, they don't have to murder their frickin' people who see them because they know they're just going to get out of jail. So murders are down. Shooting victims, 1721 to 1461. Once again, there's no reason to kill people if the witnesses aren't going to have any effect on your trial because you're going to be released on your own recognizance and it's going to be downscaled. But rape's up 13.2%. Hey, still always good to rape a person. There's no reason not to rape people. I mean, that's always, hey, any day is a good day, obviously, to these fucking people. 1,365, 1487. More rape. Why? Because they're not being held accountable for rape. The investigation and the crime rate and catching them is absolutely down. Robbery, 3,600 more robbery cases, 29.6% up. Overall crime, look at that. You're looking at 26,000 more crimes, 26% up in New York.
Jeez.
Look at this. We're not even done yet. Hold on. Hold your horses because this is the one that's going to make you puke. New York NYPD felony arrest downgraded to misdemeanors. These are the cops doing their jobs.
Right.
35% 2020. Only 35% were downgraded. 52% of the cases inside New York are downgraded now to misdemeanors that were felonies. And you want to know why crime is up? Because people know they can get away with it.
Yep.
Exactly right.
All right, Leroy. That's all I wanted to show, and then we'll go into Trump. But please, I am sorry for taking over. I just knew this one was going to piss me off because this whole thing is complete bullshit. This was already tried in the federal court. There's two things. From a federal level, they toss this. There's no there. We can't do anything about this. This isn't against election and campaign integrity. They already threw it out. The U.S. government found it and they threw it out. Then it was already tried in the civil court and she lost horribly. So this guy who campaigned on Donald Trump and that he was going to go ahead and get Donald Trump arrested is simply doing just that and charging him for something that he's already been held accountable for, which is nothing. And they're throwing false charges on him just to go ahead and compete the narrative that he's under indictment. So now they can say he's been impeached twice. He performed an insurrection on the United States, and now he's under indictment. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to say. And they want to cover up what's happening with Joe Biden. I'm opening it up to the panel. I'm sorry for taking so much time, but our numbers did go up a shit ton when I did that. Go ahead.
I'm just going to point something out that right now, under the current administration, we have record high inflation. We have record high government overspending. We have an open southern border. We have collapsing retirement funds. Now, while Joe Biden is telling us that the economy is in this great position, now we have 3 and 4 banks that are failing.
Yeah.
Right? So when you have this kind of track record, somebody at some point, the public is going to go, wait a minute, something doesn't smell right.
Right.
Right. And so what do you have to do at that point if you are a political party seeking to reacquire the office and you've got that kind of record? What do? You take your biggest opponent and you put him in handcuffs.
Well, to be fair,
virtually. All they want is the imagery of it.
Right. And to be fair, and I'm not a part of the Democratic Party, but I will defend them here. This is Trump's fault, and Biden has been fixing the problems of the Trump administration.
Totally. You're right. Trump asked for this for sure.
I don't, I mean, he's one that created these issues, so he's just fixing the problem.
It's his inflation. It's his open border. It's his problem. Future war with China.
Prices are low now, and inflation's fine. I mean, we are not having a crisis right now. Banks are going to be fine.
Really?
It's all going to be better. Listen, I know Jared Kushner got independently, was already rich, but got independently wealthy off of Saudi Arabia. I understand that. Okay. Yeah. I understand that Ivanka Trump got patents with China that made her millions of dollars for her shoes. I get all that. But the thing is, I know that. The thing is, it's out there.
Yeah.
It's been declared. It's been talked about, and there was no hiding it. Politicians get rich off their services. It's the way it always works. Look at the Kennedy kids. Okay? Multi-millionaires for life. Look at Chelsea. You think Chelsea's not going to inherit that 336 million dragons fucking nest that lizard woman has? Okay? And he got to diddle Monica Lewinsky and make $336 million. Okay? This is what happens. Look at Obama. Martha's Vineyard. The guy owns fucking 12 homes. Look at Bernie Sanders. Every politician gets rich. We know that. But that's the problem. We didn't know about these things. They were hidden from us. Were taxes paid on this? Was this declared? Were they working as a foreign asset for a government, which you have to do? Because if you do not, you'll be held accountable. You will be held accountable as... look at Paul Manafort. Same thing happened to him. He did not declare that he was working with a foreign entity when he was working with Ukraine. The corruption with Joe Biden, I am not this guy. I am not this. I don't want to play tit for tat. I don't care I don't care about fucking the Ku Klux Klan. I don't care about civil rights and Japanese internment camps until the Democrats try to pin it on us. And I certainly do not care about politicians making money hand over fist until they try to go ahead and use it against our politicians and pretend that they are coming out smelling like roses instead of a pile of shit inside that bathroom.
Mm-hmm. But that's happening. That's revisionist history.
I know.
That's everything that's happening on the left. Everything that you're saying, I understand what you're saying, but I'm like, it is actually happening.
I know.
And
well, that's the whole point.
I just can't believe. Right. Sorry.
No, but don't be upset because be upset. But I'm not defending Democrats. This whole thing is going to be a giant. Here, let me show it to you what it is. I've got a picture of it. I showed this on the live show the other night. I'm going to show it again. So everyone can understand. Oh, I don't have it anymore. Essentially, it's a big nothing burger. This is nothing. What Donald Trump is going to do If they go ahead and pull out, first of all, the Secret Service is not going to let a former president be handcuffed on national TV. No. You're fucking insane. If you think the Secret Service, their job is to protect the presidency, they don't give a shit about Donald Trump. You do not allow the presidency. It will weaken our position with the rest of the world. Any deals that were done, any money that's changed hand with foreign governments, all those foreign governments are going to come after us and say, this guy's a crook. He's a criminal. We want A, B, C, and D revoked, and we want retribution for everything that happened to our country based upon the deals we made with him. If you arrest a sitting president, are you fucking stupid? The Democrats don't want this because they know what it's going to do. It's going to open up Pandora's box, period.
I will say this, because in his tweet, he basically said that, he gave the list of reasons of why, the left is bad, which we knew. But then, when he announced that he could be arrested, at the very bottom of that tweet, he basically said, protest, protest, protest. Folks, let me tell you, do not protest.
Do not protest.
Do not do it.
That was my point.
If you are one of the guys who is just, you got your red hat on and you're willing to go down there and fight and march, don't. Please, for the love of God, don't. You are being set up, because every left-wing media outlet out there will take the smallest event. It could be something you could all be walking in perfect harmony, holding hands, and it wouldn't matter. They would paint it as a violent protest, right? And it would be attributable to Donald Trump.
Well, and I think
after the January the 6th thing, this would be the second largest, protest in favor of Donald Trump, and it would be turned against you. So please don't protest.
Go ahead, Amy. Go ahead with what you wanted to say.
I was just going to say, I think Trump's thinking is, the left encourages peaceful protests, right, that turn into non-peaceful protests a lot of times. But I think Trump is just trying to call everyone on their bluff. But he has to remember that the general population is going to take him at face value and to not say these things. So, yes.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Donald Trump, he didn't backpedal. I think a lot of these rumors of him being arrested is Donald Trump driving this. I think he's going to use this to his political advantage. And honestly,
you are fake news.
I think it's true. I think it's honestly a great strategy, because you're showing the left who they are. I think he came out on his page and said not to. To be honest with you, I think he came back and said not to protest, and this is what they want. He posts so damn much.
He does.
There was no misdemeanor here either. There was no crime, period. All the other many Democrats, law enforcement officers that looked at it took a pass. So did Cy Vance. So did Bragg. But then much later, he changed his mind. Gee, I wonder why. So he basically, he didn't walk it back. Now, the last thing about this before we get to the NHL is Ron DeSantis. Now, everyone's freaking out. Once again, Donald Trump is doing what Donald Trump always does, using this as a political opportunity to nail Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis did what he has been doing. He simply says, I'm not getting involved in this shit. I'm not going to talk about Stormy Daniels and payoffs, but I believe that this prosecutor is going after Trump, and this is all a political hit job. So he defends Trump. He does exactly what he should. He didn't throw him a bone and throw him a life preserver, but he defended him. And of course, it's not good enough. The only thing that would have been good enough if Ron DeSantis said the following: because Donald Trump might possibly be indicted, I am withdrawing my nomination and my run for the president of the United States in favor of Donald Trump. All hail Donald Trump, and may God have mercy on my soul for going against him. And you know what he would say? Ron DeSanctimonious, I really appreciate your endorsement, but you're still a fucking coward.
Yep.
Right? And that would have been it. This is what he always does. So this is what DeSantis said.
Into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to is that if you have a prosecutor who is ignoring crimes happening every single day in his jurisdiction, and he chooses to go back many, many years ago to try to use something about porn star hush money payments, that's an example of pursuing a political agenda and weaponizing the office. And I think that that's fundamentally wrong. And in terms of we are not involved in this, won't be involved in this. I have no interest in getting involved in some type of manufactured circus by some Soros DA, okay? He's trying to do a political spectacle. He's trying to virtue signal for his base.
Exactly.
Any other politician in America would have used this to load guns and fire at Donald Trump and say, well, this is what happens when you have to sleep with other women and pay them. Unlike my wife and I, who've had an amazing marriage, my wife who just survived breast cancer, there she is right there in the audience. I love her. He could have destroyed, he didn't. He defended, he just said, I'm not going to get involved in this circus. This is stupid. I'm not going to do this. I don't do this in Florida. I don't do this when they did this to me. I'm not going to do it for Donald Trump. But he called him a Soros paid attorney. He defended Trump. What does Trump want from DeSantis? Does he want him literally to get down and circus seal him? I mean, is that what he wants? What does Trump want? I don't know. The moment he impresses me, he just pisses me off again. And I'm so sick of it.
Yep.
Liv, what do you think?
To be honest, I don't know.
Oh, God. Amy, go ahead. You don't have an opinion on this at all?
I was gone for half the time taking care of Ethan.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Amy.
I kind of agree. I think Trump is feeding into it a little bit. I think, he loves social media. Like, he lives for social media. So even the smallest thing, even the smallest rumor, I think Trump he's going to be like, oh yeah, let's make this a story. Let's make this a big deal. Let's get my name out there and talk about it. And I really like Ron DeSantis a lot. Ron DeSantis, whatever we call him now. I like him a lot.
Ron DeSanctimonious. How did Ron sound? Can you give me, what did he say? He said, oh, what?
What? Me?
Amy, he said, oh yeah?
He could, well, I don't think so. No, I'm just saying I like him.
Well, you said something about.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, had it. Oh God, that was so good. Now I'm gonna stuff my fucking face with Pepperidge Farm.
Yes, that's what Ron. That's a Ron DeSantis clip of what he was saying when he was talking about Donald Trump. So what do you listen? Do you think Trump, no matter what you say, there's nothing you can say unless it is complete unfettered loyalty and fealty to Donald Trump? Otherwise, you're just going to get your ass smacked around. It doesn't matter who you are.
100% agree with that. I think that Trump would really appreciate Ron DeSantis resigning, retiring, and moving out of the country.
I agree. But you know what's funny? Donald Trump's tweets after DeSantis called him a Soros DA and said he's manufacturing stuff, 7 years old, that was exactly what Donald Trump posted. So the student, supposedly, who can't tie his shoe with those two hands without Donald Trump, seems to be learning because Donald Trump took his talking points and regurgitated them on Truth Social, which is kind of interesting. Go ahead, Leroy.
I would agree with everything that you guys said. I would also add that, DeSantis, man, he really just seems to be a more measured kind of response, right? Trump, you would expect a reaction. That's who he is. Right? If you blast him on social media, he is just going to come back at you tenfold with this emotionally charged, F you type response. DeSantis didn't do that. DeSantis was measured. He was calm. He said, look, folks, not my monkey, not my circus. Right? And to Matt's point, defended him appropriately. He didn't go overboard with it. He just said, look, everyone calm down. And he gave a very measured response. I love the guy. I really do. I
wish that Trump had a little bit of that, and people are defending Trump, of course, because he can do no wrong. But I just defended Trump for fucking 25 minutes. I get to bash on him a little bit when he does something stupid because this is the Trump story. Take one step forward, take 3 steps back.
It's all part of the plan.
And then all you guys come out, it's all part of the plan. Just trust him. Donald Trump and DeSantis are friends, and this is all No, that's not what this is. You need to understand something. Trump doesn't have any friends. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Every single relationship he creates, he destroys.
it's all based on money.
It's all based on something. It's and I hate to say that. And I like the guy, but I would never be his friend because it would ruin any relationship that I possibly could have with the guy. Look at the laundry list of people. How many people?
He was friends with the Clintons. They were at his wedding, at him and Melania's wedding, and there's a picture of them laughing. And then you saw what Hillary and Trump did to each
if you're going to sit here and tell me that Donald Trump is somebody you would want as a friend, I don't know if that's true because listen, the guy is an egomaniac, but he's really good at what he does. And that's what I love about him. He gives it to the left. He gives it to everybody. He has no problem calling everybody out, and he's useful because he's a bulldog and he's a cutthroat. But that's not somebody you want sharing Sunday brunch with you. And if you look at all of the people he has went through, I mean, look at Bolin. I mean, everyone said, do not put Bolin in there. Do not put him in there as director of what? NSA director? What was he?
Something like that, yeah.
Doesn't matter. Whatever Bolin did. And everyone said, don't put him in there. This guy's a freaking war hawk. He's a Hillary Clinton replant. He's a neocon. He's going to want to go to war with North Korea. Don't do it. And then Trump's like, no, he's a great man, smart man, best choice I've ever made, one of the best choices I've ever. And then literally now, he's a coward. He's a horrible coward. He's a sellout. He's a loser. He did that with everybody. And that's Donald Trump. He uses you until you do something wrong, and then he bails on you. And that's the truth. And whether you like it or not, that's what it is.
That's been the nature of the political system, for the last 80 years anyway. It's when you get to that level, when you're talking about the speaker, when you're talking about the VP, when you're talking about the president, right? That level of politics, it's all about, teacups and saucers. And Trump, when he came in, he was the guy who was like, nope, I am a bulldozer in a china shop. And to a degree, that's what America loved about him.
Right. And if he wants me to be his friend, I'm willing to take money for that. Put that up there. That's what
listen, I have some people like, oh, Matt, you need to go work for Donald Trump, and you need to. I would work for him for 5 minutes because I would go, hey, fuckhead, listen to me.
Right.
Shut up. Shut up. Stop talking. Don't talk. I'll let you know when you can talk. I'm running your campaign. You can't talk anymore. Everything you tweet, I need to see. Everything you say needs to run through me. And if you want to get reelected, I will get you elected in 6 months. I will have your favorability up to 65%. But you are going to have to fucking eat crow. You're going to have to apologize for a whole bunch of shit. And you're going to have to go on there and you're going to have to go on People and find the new Barbara Walters. You're going to have to go ahead and have some contrition. And then you're going to have to lead through policy and results. And if you do that, you'll get reelected. Because the only thing they don't want to change it right now. America's had enough change. America wants stability. And the only thing you can do to create stability is to shut up.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't do it. He won't do it because that's not Trump. So Trump, what he needs to do this is what he needs to do. He needs to hammer it like he was. Looks like they're going to arrest me. Okay? And I'm going to fight it. And it's all a bunch of bullshit. And he doesn't need to be going after DeSantis right now. That's not the prize. Do you know that the governor can refuse extradition from fucking Florida to the governor of New York? The governors have to go ahead and approve this. So all he has to do is say, you know what? I waive it. Donald Trump cannot be removed from Florida by the state of New York. And he can sustain this. Mm-hmm. So why piss off DeSantis right now? Why take the guy who literally changed Florida for the first time ever in U.S. history to a complete red state?
Well, he didn't do it.
I would love to be a fly on the wall between Trump and his advisors, because I'd be willing to bet, Matt, that several people have tried to do that for him. They have probably tried to tell him, look, when we tell you to dance, dude, you got to dance, and you have to sell it. You have to perform it, and he won't do it. No. He does his own thing. He basically waves his middle fingers around, and that's it.
And it won't get him reelected. And Trump is Trump. This isn't 2016. Everyone knows what they're going to get, and people don't want that. They don't want a clown in the office. We just had a clown for 2 years. Look what happened. They want Trump to say, we're not going to war with China. We're going to close the border. We're going to get off inflation. Your food on your table is going to be less expensive. We're going to secure our futures. We're going to stop being terrified of everything we do, and we're going to focus on America first. I'm going to get my infrastructure plan put through, and I'm going to get rid of Joe Biden's, which has done nothing for America. We're going to go ahead and we're going to drill. We're going to become energy independent. We're going to build our military up, and we are going to protect USA. That's what we're going to do. We're getting back to USA. Superman's going back to USA. We are too. I don't know if you guys heard, but the new Superman movie is all going to be Kansas, Clark Kent, Martha, and the freaking American flag. They're going back to the roots of Superman, thank God, versus this woke bullshit.
Love it. I didn't hear that. That's awesome.
Trump maybe not be able to be reined
when it was
in.
Truth, justice, and the American way. Remember?
Yeah,
that?
remember. Yeah, versus binary social justice equity, and the socialist way.
Superman's son. It went from truth, justice, and the American way to Superman's kid being. Yeah.
So last thing, and then we're going to do the NHL, and then we're going to leave. Some people are like, Trump can't be reined in. You're absolutely right. Trump can't be reined in. But if Trump can't get reined in, he's not going to be the next president of the United States.
Right. Exactly right.
And you need to embrace that and understand it. I'm telling you right now, if he cannot find a strong running mate, show some freaking contrition and leadership skills, we're going to lose. And everyone agrees with me.
Yes.
Even if you don't, I'm sorry. But you agree, you know it in your heart. I'm right. You just don't want to admit it. Go ahead.
The greatest leaders in the world all have some measure of self-control. And that's the one thing that Trump lacks. It's that DeSantis, right, methodology. It's that measured response. It's
Nikki Haley.
Even fucking Kim Jong-un has some level of, he doesn't just, he doesn't fucking go out there and say, I'm going to light everybody up. No.
Little bit. He only does that when he really is desperate for attention.
He gives warning, but it's in a very political way. He's like, America, you're going to have to, Trump doesn't do that. He will basically says, he will walk into a room and say, fuck around and find out. And he means it literally.
Well, and here's the problem: Chris is saying Trump and DeSantis yin and yang. Are you fucking kidding me? Trump and DeSantis are yin and yang. Yeah. They're the same person. DeSantis has a little more. Dude, there is no chance in hell that a DeSantis and Trump ticket will win. Mark my words. I'll sell my podcast. Chris, I'll give you my podcast. No if Trump and DeSantis are the next president and vice president of the United States, I'll give you my podcast. It's yours. Listen, mock me.
Don't have that one.
Do you hear me? You hear my words? Everyone hear it.
Mock me.
I'm telling you right now, America will not vote for that ticket because Trump and DeSantis are the same thing. You're not going to get the female vote with that. The only thing that's going to get you the female vote, and nobody is listening to me anymore, and I don't understand why, Nikki Haley. Yep. Nikki Haley gives you the freaking independents. It gives you the libertarians. It gives you the middle of the road, and it brings over a shit ton of female Democrats. Nikki Haley, man. You may not like her. I don't fucking care. Oh, she said something bad about Trump. At this point, who hasn't?
Everyone has.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point, who fucking hasn't said something bad about Trump? Everybody has said something. I've said something bad about Trump. My wife, who lost family over voting for Trump, has said something bad about Trump. But we also say something amazingly good about him, and we see it. He just needs to stop. Pick a female running mate. Get a strong conservative. Nikki Haley's there. She's a minority. Fucking Christ. We don't have, pardon my French for using Lord's name. We don't have minorities in the Republican Party. She's perfect. She pees sitting down. She's a minority. She had to change her name. And she's a freaking Republican. Oh, she's a neocon. You don't even know what a neocon is. She's not a neocon. Oh, she's a part of the George Soros playbook. Would you people shut the fuck up? You've got a good thing in Nikki Haley. Don't tear her up. That's why he's not. He's not ripping her apart for a reason, folks, because I promise you that ticket makes sense. And I've been screaming this for 2.5 years. Tulsi Gabbard.
No.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard would be a guaranteed loss.
Tulsi Gabbard? Why in the fuck would you pick Tulsi? Okay, I got to do it. I got minutes. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm doing this again.
What? Doing what?
Hold on. I can't believe I'm doing this again.
Tulsi Gabbard is way too edgy.
I can't believe I'm doing this again.
Nobody likes her.
Do you know how many times I've done this? I'm going to do it again.
I don't
Here
think women like her either. I'm not a fan of hers.
I liked her. She's easy on the eyes, but
I mean,
politically opportune. Here it is. Nuclear weapons and arms race, regime change and interventions, abortion. Here's her platform, sanctions. I'm going to give you the rundown. Here it all is. This is her entire platform. You go to Wikipedia or you can go to her own page, right? Because it's always important, right? Matt, you got to show the facts. You got to show the receipts, Matt. Okay, here's your fucking receipts. Capital punishment, abolish it. So she's pro-murderers and rapists. Okay? Cash bail, end it. Mandatory minimum sentence reform, eliminate them. Private prisons, eliminate them. I agree with her on that. Eliminate election security, mandate paper ballots. Big banks, bring glass Stegall, yes. Raise the federal minimum wage to 15 an hour. Paid leave, support broad paid family and medical leave plans up to 12 weeks. Reparations, study reparations.
Reparations?
Cost of college, college should be free. Hit it. Student debt, expand or fix existing debt relief programs. Wow. Hold on, we're not done. You said Tulsi Gabbard, you get all of this tonight. Campaign finance, unlimited spending should not be allowed in politics. I agree. Electoral college, the electoral college should not be eliminated. I agree. Nuclear, thank you. Nuclear power, support closing down existing nuclear power reactors.
No.
Assault weapons, support ban on assault weapons.
Fuck that.
Background checks, in favor of universal background checks.
Good or bad?
No.
That's bad.
Abortion. Few limits, if any, on abortion. Few limits, if any. Obamacare coverage expansion. Rethink the whole system. Yes. Drug costs, importation, and patent breaking. Yes. Medicare for all. Medicare for all would accept Medicare for some. Hit it. DACA, citizenship for dreamers and executive actions to help them legalize in the meantime. Transportation, pay for infrastructure by winding down the spending on wars and overseas military conflicts. Fine. Marijuana, legalize marijuana. Marijuana convictions, scrapping past pot convictions. Defense spending, slash the defense budget. Overseas deployments, bring the troops home, yay. Corporate income tax, eliminate tax break for the offshoring. Bullshit. Rural broadband, looser broadband promises. No, you're forcing companies to give it away for free. Social media, we should consider holding companies legally liable for user posts. No. Tech competition and antitrust, break them up, yep. NAFTA, support the revised USMCA, yes. There you go, folks. Tulsi freaking Gabbard.
Somebody just said Carrie Lake.
Oh my God. Carrie Lake can't even win governor.
Addressed.
She's Trump in a dress. She can't even win her governorship. How do you expect her to win a national election? Folks, Tulsi Gabbard is a liberal. I know the Republicans are sucking up to her, and the reason why is the same reason they suck up to all Democrats who bail on their party, because it looks good. Who's the guy that left the Young Turks that you like, Leroy?
Oh, Dave Rubin.
Douche plow. I
like him.
If you're over 35 years old and you all of a sudden abandon all your convictions, what does that say about you? What does that say about you?
Dude, Thomas Sowell started off as a Marxist.
I don't care. And you should hold him accountable for that.
I mean,
you should hold him accountable for his thought process.
I have said this before. I believe that there's a greater number of people who go from left to right than ever people that would go from right to left.
And I will always question their motives, always. Because there is a difference between right and wrong. And this party fight right now is the difference between right and wrong. I'm not saying that you can't respect what he has to say. If Dave Rubin wanted to talk on my show or have me on his show, I would. But I would always say to him, Dave, you used to be a liberal. You changed all of your viewpoints on everything that made you who you were and literally flipped sides. Yeah. To me, that's weird. It's weird because you had to. You could have been a libertarian. You could have remained a moderate Democrat. You could have been pro-life Democrat. Why did you flip everything that you believed in? Well, that's my issue. Okay. Now, Thomas Sowell, when it comes to economics, that's different. That's not ideology. You can be an ignorant person and not understand something from an economic standpoint and then realize the advantages of an economy later through life lessons. That's different than ideological belief. Is it not, Leroy? Let me know.
I would say that people have certain realizations and that at some point, definitely when people are younger, they're more idealistic and they probably believe at some point that the government can help. Right. And I think it takes a few failures. It takes a few failures. It takes a few times for the Superdome to not get the water that it needs, or for these stupid shots to give more people heart problems than anything else. It takes a few more examples like that before people go, wait a minute.
You're right. You're right. I'm wrong. You're right. You're right. It's a narrow-minded thought process. And Dave Rubin, I got to let him off the hook. I just hate the Young Turks. I do. And just I can't. And he was one of them. He was one of them. And he fucking they're obnoxious. And Tulsi Gabbard I like, but I there's not one of her policies that I just read them all to you. That is what she ran on in 2020, folks. That's Tulsi Gabbard. And you can say you're not a Democrat anymore, but she's a progressive socialist. That's Elizabeth Warren right there. That's Bernie Sanders. That's fucking Ilhan Omar and AOC. That
is as left leaning as it
as
gets.
You get. As it gets.
And that's not something that I could completely embrace, right, as being a conservative. Most of the policies that she advocates for are the antithesis to what I believe in.
So let me just sum this up. Benjamin says you're wrong, Matt. Ben, I already said I was wrong. I am wrong. I know I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. It's a myopic thought process, and it's weak-minded for me to sit here and say people can't change. I just find it very hard to believe that the 26 points of conservatism that essentially make up a conservative, you all of a sudden were like, you know what? I disagree with everything I stood for 40 years of my life, and now I'm going to switch. I think it's extremely advantageous that Rubin was being marginalized and the left didn't like him, so he jumped over to the right and it made him instantly popular. To me, I think that's bullshit. Tulsi Gabbard realized that she was not going to be strong in the Democratic Party. They marginalized her. They put her in a corner, and then she said, I can't win here anymore. I'm going to become a Republican. I will say this. I don't know about Thomas Sowell because I admire him like no other. I don't know his motives, but I do know Rubin's and I do know Gabbard's, and it was politically advantageous for them to jump sides, and that's why they did it. Ben, I'm sorry. I agree with you that I'm wrong saying people can't change, but I will never fully trust a person who flips sides. Same with Republicans becoming Democrats. This has become, it's no longer conservative Republican. This is like good versus evil. And I'm really on that page now. I wasn't. I am now. With the shit that the left is doing, I'm no longer all about, hey, let's go ahead and try to stay middle. Fuck that. I've chosen a side and it's the right. And honestly, when you call me alt-right, I'm like, alt-right that I'm always right? Maybe. Olivia wants to talk about the NHL. I want Amy and you guys to talk about the NHL. This is a big topic for me. We've got enough time. We've got like 5 minutes, and that's fine. We're off at 10. Yeah. Here's the thing. And Ben, it's love and respect, dude. You can jump parties. I'm just saying, to condone the death of a child, to believe that guns should be taken from Americans, to believe in throttling of speech, to believe to be ridiculed for our beliefs in God, fuck that. You know what? I would have much more respect for somebody to say, you know what? I was wrong on a couple of things. I'm going to move away from the Democratic Party because I don't like where they are anymore. But I'm independent. And at least Tulsi said that. I'm not going to be a Republican. I got to respect her for that. But she's still in her core, believes what she believes. And she will be eaten alive by the left as an indecisive, weak-minded person. And she'll get destroyed. And Trump would eat her for breakfast. Nikki Haley doesn't take shit from anybody. All right. Wait a second. Karen says, what's that saying? If you're not a liberal when you're young, you have no heart. If you aren't a Republican when you're older, you're not using your brain. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Donald, I hope you understand I wasn't trying to hurt you, wasn't trying to attack you, but Tulsi Gabbard is not an option to run. Period. In any way, shape, or form. She wouldn't win anyway. She's not a good candidate. Okay, that's it. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to set this up. Olivia and I have been hockey fans since as long as we've been together. Like, she's wearing a Colorado Avalanche shirt right now. If that doesn't tell you anything. Olivia knows more about hockey than any man I've ever met. And I know hockey better than I know politics. I should have a hockey podcast. It just doesn't get any money, and it doesn't have any followers because there's 100 million of them out there. But second to me, and I'm not trying to be braggadocious here because it's not bragging if it's true. Olivia knows hockey. Ask her anything. Anybody, ask her a question. She'll crush it. We have owned every jersey that the Avalanche have ever had. Is that you or I own a version?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
We've got 90 some odd autographs of every player from like 1990.
95 to like 2001.
Yeah, I'm talking Forsberg, Bork, Adam Foote, Joe Sakic.
We got to know some of the guys because we'd go to every home game and just go get autographs, and we got to know some of them.
Danny Highnote. I knew Danny Highnote when I played in the Navy and played hockey, not for the Navy team, but in the Navy, played hockey. We played pickup games against the Army guys. Olivia was hit on by Milan Hayduk.
Jeff, Alex Tangay. They asked me for my phone number.
We got Jeff Odgers, or we got Chris Drury, a cab, or Danny. Dude, we have a relationship with the Colorado Avalanche, and we know them and we love them. Okay,
I got a personal autograph from Patrick Waugh, and he never gives personalized autographs.
Debbie says, Olivia, what's a puck?
Well, I had a cat named Puck, but
what's a puck?
It's a hockey puck. It's a black circular. I don't know what it's made out of. Rubber,
galvanized rubber,
and it's what the players hit
with
with
their
stick.
1 inch thick, 3 inches in diameter. Has to be kept at negative
what color's
20.
The puck? It's black.
Negative 20 degrees. NHL. Is there anything? Okay.
Yeah, there's my son's got an official NHL puck up in his
Several
room.
of them. We have one right back here. Okay, so listen. Nice. We love hockey. Now, we've owned the jersey. The one thing we have never owned is the rainbow colored gay pride jersey. Why? Well, because we're not gay. Same reason why most people who aren't veterans don't buy grunt style shirts, because they're not veterans. I'm just not gay. Now, I'm going to say one thing and then I'm done. And Olivia's got the floor because she's fired up about this. And I will say the following. Why do you need my confirmation for where you do or do not decide to put in a hole or where you invest your feelings? Why do you need me to quantify and qualify where you stick your thing or which hole you prefer or how you decide to spend your time to fulfill your needs? You don't. I think Pride is stupid. I think Black History Month is stupid. I think Women's Month is stupid. I think Breast Cancer Awareness Month is fucking stupid. I think Prostate Awareness Month is fucking stupid. And I'll tell you why. Because if it's something we should care about it all year long. And it's something that we should educate on consistently, because if you don't, people will forget. Because what's out of sight is most assuredly out of mind. So if you only focus on breast cancer in October, that's probably why we don't have a cure. If you only focus on Black History Month in February, well, guess what? That's probably why the other 11 months, everyone's a racist dick. We have to stop focusing on the minutia and start focusing on the whole. And everyone's like, well, there's just not enough time to focus on everything. Well, you don't have to. That's what segmentation is called. Segmentation is important. But honestly, what it comes down to is people will invest in things that they care about when it becomes important to them. So yes, although not every single person tomorrow will donate to breast cancer, everyone who is impacted by breast cancer will probably donate it to it. That is how you create awareness, is you show them how they can help. That is why I have picked one subject. I'm not out here and going, ladies and gentlemen, Wavo Splash, you sexy mother blank. Hey, everybody, you should buy pine tar wax for your mustache. Hey, everybody, I just want you to know about my new floor shine. Hey, folks, my chaw. I only do one thing. Veteran Crisis Hotline. And yes, I talk about flags or my website, but what I focus on every single day of the year is Veteran Crisis Hotline. And until that number gets down to a number that's reasonable, that comes down to the average rate of the United States, then I'm going to go ahead and continue to talk about it. And that's what we need to do. And if one person just talks about one thing, it's important. But this whole thing that everybody gets a week or a month, what it does is it takes focus on other people's travesties, other people's history. And that's the problem. So I don't celebrate gay pride, even though I believe that the LGBTQ plus community, not the plus, fuck that. I don't support pedophiles and all the rainbow spotted unicorn bullshit. You have a right to stick your pecker wherever you want or to do whatever you want with your vagina. You don't need me to wear a rainbow jersey to make you feel better about yourself. And if you do, then maybe what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing. The NHL is saying, after supporting Pride Night, changing their pictures for a month, forcing this down our throat with mandatory posts from all the teams to literally make examples of gay and lesbian players who make no difference, who have no talent whatsoever, no offense. They're never going to play in the NHL. They're never going to play for the women's team. They're just local people who play hockey when I want to focus on that 6-year-old who's learning and literally can look and skate like Gretzky. That's what I want to hear about. And if that person happens to be a lesbian, who fucking cares? I don't care. I want to watch hockey. I don't want to watch literally rest stops and tapping my foot in the bathroom, as we alluded to in the beginning of the segment. That's where I'm at. All right? Now, I'm going to show you a video, and then Olivia's going to say her thing, and then we are going to wrap it up for tonight. Here it is. There are a few teams that have decided to not wear the jersey. And I'm not going to name the NHL players. One of them is from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Another one is from the Minnesota Wild. And a lot of Russian players are saying niet to this because when they get home, they're going to be prosecuted by Vladimir Putin and the Russian government, where gay and lesbianism is illegal.
Actually, it's not illegal, but that's part of my talking point. It's not illegal.
It's illegal when you can be thrown in prison for supporting it.
They're just lesser people.
Yeah. And if you openly support it, you can be thrown. Okay, we'll talk about it. Olivia's going to take care of it. I could be wrong. My thought. Okay, let me just say this. There are Muslim players. There are players from all over the country, from all over Europe, and it's not just Russia, but everyone does not have the same belief system towards the lesbian and gay community. And you have to understand and respect that, because here's the thing. What they're saying is it makes players uncomfortable, or makes the fans uncomfortable. Yeah, but what about the players? Shouldn't they feel comfortable too? Why is it that we take somebody else's rights and makes somebody else's more important? Here's the video. Then Olivia's going to educate us because she's researched this quite a bit, and obviously
we have like a trolling hacker person in our chat, Stacy.
What does she want?
Something. She just.
Well, someone kick her out, please.
Yeah.
You guys, Olivia, you should be able to do this. I
can't do it.
Okay, then you got to remind me. Amy, can you get this person?
I don't know if she's here.
Hold on, she was a second ago.
Okay, I thought she said she was going back to work.
Lee, do your job.
Yeah, Amy's at work, so she can't.
All right, we're going to play it. I don't know what to do unless Lee does it. You guys, you got to, when you see these people, you got to nail them. You got to nail them. All right, here it is. I'll try to find her.
I think you find the Flyers $1 million for this. I'm not kidding. Figure this out and stop offending people on nights where it's not about that. It's supposed to be about inclusivity. The National Hockey League need to attack this and figure this out. Because what I heard last night was offensive and didn't make any sense. The National Hockey League today needs to find that organization $1 million and reevaluate how they support gay rights. Because that is insulting. That is the #1 trending topic in Canada. That is insulting what happened in Philadelphia. And if the NHL's serious about this, they say they are. We'll see. We'll see how serious they are today.
Talk about a virtual signaling dick.
Yeah.
This is why I can't stand Canadians in hockey. They think the sport's only theirs. And guess what? You guys haven't won shit in almost 35 years. There's a reason for that. America has won the Stanley Cup. United States, not Canada. Go ahead, Liv.
Okay, so first off, I don't understand why politics and stuff like that has to be in sports. I just want to watch my game. I don't want to see people kneeling for the flag. I don't want to see your support and whatever you want to support. I just want to watch the game. But you had mentioned that a lot of players are from Russia, and there's also players that are religious, and not everyone supports these rights. Oh my God, I'm going to kill her. Hang on.
We're going to kill my cat. We just open it. I don't mind her in. Okay, it doesn't matter. So she meows. Who cares?
Sorry, she's banging on the door. Not everyone supports it, and it makes the players feel uncomfortable, and they shouldn't have to be made to do something that's uncomfortable to them. I mean, they're the players. They're the reason we watch the sport. We should probably be more supportive of them, not somebody who is never going to play the sport and probably honestly wasn't a fan in the first place. But if they're talking about inclusivity and it's all about everyone being equal, well, how about a religious night? Let's support religions. And then we're going to support Mormonism. And now we're going to support Catholicism. And now we're going to support being a Baptist. Oh, wait. There's a national women's night. Let's have a national men's night. Now we need to have a national straight person's night. Now we need to have a Bigfoot night and this night.
Hey, don't
and
forget Kwanzaa
night.
that nobody celebrates anyway.
And I mean, it's just
Traditional
dumb.
marriage
Not,
night?
yeah,
Traditional? No, you racist. No traditional marriage.
It's not inclusivity. It's what the latest fad is right now, and that is pride. And it's dumb. I think they should take it all out. And I think the only night they should have, because they do this several times throughout the year, is military appreciation. Because without the military, we don't have hockey teams. And we don't have our freedom. So I think that's the only thing they should support. I mean, my grandmother died of breast cancer, and I'm a huge supporter of breast cancer. But I agree with you. I don't think that we should have that night. It should be left to sports and sports only.
And I'm not against breast cancer awareness, okay? I'm all for it. But I think when you classify something for, like Veterans Day, I think Veterans Day is a complete waste of time. You should be, if you have a woman in your life, breast cancer should obviously be something you care about. If you have a veteran in your life, you should care about veterans. How hard is this? But you shouldn't be forced to care about veterans. You shouldn't be forced to wear a pink fucking ribbon. Well, you shouldn't be forced to do any of those things. Olivia, what? Quick.
Kristen said Sister Wives Night.
Sister wife. Amy, go ahead. Your thoughts on this? You've got to have something that you think about this one.
I mean, I can't disagree with anything that's being said. I'm tired of all of it anyway. I'm tired of, I can't even watch a TV show. You can't turn on your TV. I don't watch TV anyway, but you can't watch anything. There's no more entertainment that's just entertainment. We always have to have something like some cause shoved down our throats. And yes, I don't care. I'm like, if you want to be gay or lesbian or straight, I really don't care what you do with your life. And I think the average person who is gay or straight or a lesbian or bi or whatever, most people don't walk around announcing that to people.
No, they don't care.
And that's my point. So why am I going to a sports game where I'm going to announce my personal choices to a stadium full of people? I'm not going to personally put myself out there. I'll just do it here on the show. I'm straight.
You know what's the worst, Ames? Is when they do this where they'll bring in the woman sports announcer temporary, and the women call the game for the day, and then they don't get anything for 364 days. I'm like, instead of giving them it's like going to a dog and going, come here, Rover. Here is a filet mignon steak. Here's a bite of one. Try this. And the dog's like, oh my God, that's the greatest thing ever. I swear, it's amazing. What an amazing steak.
And then you're like, now, for the next 364 days, you're going to get kennel rations, fucker. And then you'll get another bite next year. It's like you don't have a sound effect, any sound effects for that. I mean, come on, man. Sound effects person, what are you doing? All right, Amy, go ahead.
I mean, that's it. I'm tired of all of it. I understand that people who are not, the typical, I hate using that word, but that's like the new word we have to use, right? We can't say normal. It's typical, like the typical relationship status where you're married, we can't say that anymore. But I understand like including other people in certain things, but do we have to have it in everything? I mean, sports should just be about sports. And
right. Like,
I
get
don't
it in the hole.
care.
It shouldn't mean
Right.
get it in the hole.
Yeah. Right. That's my 2 cents. And I don't think anyone should be punished for not wanting to wear a jersey. I mean, what happened? I don't really even know anymore.
Essentially what happened is that a couple of NHL players, all they do is wear a jersey during warm-up. Warm-up takes place, it's 12 minutes and 25 seconds. They skate around the ice, they shoot some pucks, and they go back in. Then they take it off and they auction it off 3 weeks later. That's literally it. And the players are like, I'm not going to wear the jersey. And now a bunch of teams are saying, either are we.
Good. I think that's great. I'm glad that they're standing up together about this. It's kind of like kneeling for the flag versus standing. I think that more people should follow what they truly believe and not go with. I'm glad that the NHL is standing up and saying, no, we're not going to conform. I'm grateful. I hope this continues. I'm not trying to say that we shouldn't support gay and lesbian rights. It's totally fine, but we don't need your freaking rainbow shit on everything. Sorry, but my daughter loves it. She loves everything rainbow. So like, she's all about your flags. She wants one for the house. She's been dying for one. She loves the fence down the road where they had the rainbow. Like,
that's
like
personal choice. Of course, that's great. If I want a rainbow jersey, make them and I can buy one. And then I can wear it to the games. And there's my speech. You shouldn't have to make a special night of forcing people into some uncomfortable acceptance. Who knows Anika Anawar? Does anyone know who that name is? Amy?
Sounds familiar. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Anika Anawar.
You should ask her how she feels about the same judgment she has done to her sister will be done to her. Is that directed to Olivia or is that directed to you, Ames?
What? Okay, what's the comment? Put it up.
You should. Why are you listening? You should ask her how she feels about the same judgment she has done to her sister will be done to her. Anybody know who this is?
No. Actually, I saw that name now. I do know an Anika. I think it's Anwar, not Anawar, but
well, it does say Anawar. I mean, what is the A silent? First of all, you have too many fucking A's in your name, Anika.
Yeah, Anawar.
Do you know that person?
Maybe you should clarify your statement because I don't understand.
Anika, who are you talking to? Number one. Number three, why don't you get a profile pic instead of creating an account? And Amy, do you have a sister?
I don't. Not that I'm aware of, unless there's. I mean, you never know.
I have a sister, but she's not gay. So
well, that one remains to be seen. I haven't talked to Leah lately. Maybe Leah changed. Leah, let us know.
No, she doesn't have Facebook either.
Listen,
I did forget to mention the whole Russian
thing.
Yeah,
I want to hear about the Russian thing. I want to get Leroy's take, and then you can tell us about the Russia thing. Leah, go.
I would just point out the hypocrisy of the sportscaster actually using the terminology like inclusivity during a sports game where literally the entire point of the sport is not inclusivity, it's meritocracy.
Yeah, to pick the very best.
Whoever the best team is, those are going to be, if you work your ass off and you fucking, go to practice and put in the work, if that would be the guy that you would want to win. So we're not talking about inclusivity. So I would point that out for one. And then two, I would just actually point out that, does anybody remember when pride used to be considered one of the 7 deadly sins?
Yep.
Isn't that like a thing?
It still is. It's still in this.
Isn't that the truth? These are what the jerseys look like. So this is the Habs. This is the Montreal Canadiens. Oh, and by the way, I get this excuse all the time. Somebody said most of the American teams are made up of Canadians. That should speak volumes of how much Canadian teams suck. Is that your own players don't want to play for your team. So don't use that against us. Sorry. Canada is no longer, the hockey is no longer a Canadian sport. I'm sorry. It's an American sport. You lost it. Until you can win the Stanley Cup, it's not a Canadian sport. We won Worlds. Nobody gives a fuck about Worlds. We won the Olympics. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares about the Olympics. Please, if go ask an American how many fucking players are on the Canadian national team, I'll tell you. My wife will tell you. But we don't care. Like when the U.S. lost, we're like, whatever. Maybe we'll win the Stanley Cup. So please, don't sit here and tell me it's a Canadian sport. It used to be. When there were 6 teams. And you guys were so good at it. It's like the Americans, the basketball team. And then everyone caught up. Well, the United States is caught up. And honestly, Cale Makar is better than any player you have in the Canadian League. I'm sorry. Cale Makar is the best player in the world.
Oh, there it is.
Connor McDavid is playing against weak, soft-ass fucking Canadian team goalies. And he scores at will because he's got Draisaitl on the left side, who's probably one of the best centers, left side wingers in the game. Don't give me this crap. Connor McDavid's fast and he's flashy. He doesn't play two-way hockey. Nathan McKinnon's a much better hockey player because he plays two-way hockey. Connor McDavid hasn't played defense in his life, and Cale Makar shut his fucking ass down as we swept them in the playoffs. Connor McDavid didn't even show up. He wasn't even in the building. Connor McDavid was in fucking playing football for Tampa Bay, we think. We don't know where he was. He certainly wasn't playing hockey. I didn't see him all game.
Yeah, if he played for an American team, it would be totally different.
Liv, go ahead. Someone would check if he was playing for an Eastern Conference team, he would be out for most of the year. Because if he tried that fucking skating bullshit against any Eastern Conference team, they'd put him through a wall.
Well, here's the perfect example. Johnny Gaudreau played for the Flames, was hailed as one of the best, and was amazing. He was like the Flames star player.
Listen.
Amazing.
Johnny Hockey.
God, I hate that. His contract is up last year. He decides he doesn't want to play for a Canadian team anymore, and he wants to go to another team, an American team.
Get the big money in America.
He wants to get the big money. He goes to the Columbus Blue Jackets, which they're not that bad. They've been up there. They've been to the playoffs a couple of times in the last few years, but they are almost dead last in the entire league. And you've got a star Canadian player who was the best player on his team last year, is now playing for one of the worst teams in the NHL. If that doesn't say anything about the Canadian teams, there's nothing else that can change your mind.
Seth goes, Patrice Bergeron, baby. Yeah, 5 years ago. Dude, Pasta is 10 times better than Bergeron.
Bergeron's on his way out.
Why wouldn't you say Pasta? Pasta's a much better fucking player than Bergeron. No.
Bergeron's good, but he's on his way out.
Do you even Boston Bruins? God, how the fuck am I telling you about your team? Folks, here's what it comes down to. Pasta's top 3 in scoring. Bergeron, you might as well say Sidney Crosby's the best player.
Somebody said Sharks. The only thing good on that team is Carlson.
And he's going to be gone next year, so it won't fucking matter. Folks, don't get onto us with hockey. Here's what it comes down to. Why don't you just allow people to do what they want to do? And if some people want to wear the jersey, fine. It's better than nobody wearing the jersey, right? I mean, that's the whole point. If inclusivity is about bringing everyone in and everyone having an opinion, shouldn't everyone be able to make their own decisions? That's at least
not forced.
The goal.
Not a forced thing, right? Not forced down somebody's throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pisses me off that they're forcing them to wear it. It's like in the NFL when all the teams were kneeling. And I don't remember what team and who the player was, but he is a veteran. And he came out of the locker room.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, he came out of the locker room and he stood for the national anthem. And he got criticized and he was made to publicly apologize to the fans and his team because he's a veteran and chose to stand for the anthem. That's why I'll never watch the NFL again.
Seth says because Pasta coughs up the puck. Dude, you're about ready to set the NHL record or close to it, be one of the top 5 winningest teams, and Pasta is one of the main reasons that you are. I'm not going to sit here and Seth, if you are going to argue with me about the Boston Bruins, by the way, you guys are going to out in the first round. So I'm just letting you know. You guys are not going to win the President's Cup trophy and win the cup. You better fucking tank. You know the curse. It's like 3 times in 25 years. It's not going to happen. You don't want the freaking President's Cup trophy. Trust me. Avalanche know what that feels like.
Ramon says, what about Russia?
What about them? Oh, Russia. Get to Russia quickly, and then we're going to put
Oh, that's right. Okay, so it's not illegal to be gay in Russia, but it is disapproved of by most of the population. Same-sex couples and households headed by same-sex couples are ineligible for legal protections available to opposite-sex couples. They provide no anti-discrimination protections for LGBT people, and they have no designation for hate crimes. So basically, it's not illegal, but you don't want to be gay in Russia.
God.
Well, that was my point. It
Sounds
also
like they
impacts
could've-
endorsements. Go ahead.
Sounds like they could have filmed V for Vendetta there.
Yeah.
And just like experimented on all of the gay people.
We're going to wrap it up. Yes, I know Patrice Bergeron has won Selkies. He's a great two-way forward. He plays a two-way game. That's fine. He's still not better than Nathan MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon will be one of the top 10 to top 15 goal scorers of all time.
There's a reason Nathan MacKinnon is the highest paid player in the game right now, in the entire league, even over McDavid.
Dude, and you know what? And I don't want to hear anything about McDavid, because who is the highest point scorer in the National Hockey League since January 8th? That would be Nathan MacKinnon. And the guy's going to push 2.25 a game, and he scores 2.1 in the fucking playoffs. Dude, that's Yari Curry numbers. That's fucking Gretzky numbers. That's Mary Lemieux numbers. All right, Amy, you got 1 minute. Go.
Well, my wrap up. Totally agree with the hockey people. I used to really follow hockey. I don't watch it anymore. But I really am supportive of it. Just like
That's because you're a Caps fan.
I know, right? I know.
The Caps are ranked 25th right now.
It's okay.
Look,
okay,
we had a couple decent years. We won that one time, so it's fine.
Then you traded all your players. Then you traded all your players to the Avalanche. So thank you for that.
I'm not a fair weather fan, although I don't watch anymore at all. My son got to go to a game earlier. My daughter was sick, so I had to stay with her. So I missed our one chance to go to the game this year. I'm really glad to see this change. I think it's going to be slow, but I am hopeful that our country is going to come around and start standing up for what we truly believe in as people. And whether that's you want to wear the gay pride jersey, like Matt said, or you don't, that's fine. I think it should be allowed, your personal choice. You are on a team, so I think, you should have to wear the team shirt, but I don't think we should be putting personal sexual preferences in a sport anyway. It's a family place. I don't think kids need to be, seeing that necessarily, especially the ones who know what that is. My kids wouldn't know, but people who do, I think it needs to be less is more. People are going to make their own decisions. Children they're going to grow up. They're going to make their own choices. So yes, I'm glad for that for the NHL. I think that's great. I think it's amazing, honestly. Trump, I think he's just totally in it for his own glory. Yeah. I don't know. He's just such a mess. And what was our other topic? I totally forget now. Was that the one we talked about?
Ouchie Fauci.
Oh, Ouchie Fauci.
Oh, yeah.
Love him. I can't wait. I hope he comes to Loudoun County for the Ouchie Fauci tour. I would love for him to knock on my door. I would love it. That's it. Yeah, love it.
Okay, and I got to interrupt real quick. I said what I just said. See, Seth, this is why you don't hardly contribute anymore, besides the fact that you're always wrong. I said 3 President Cups in the last 25 years. Let's see if I'm right. 2001 Colorado Avalanche. 2001, 2002 Detroit Red Wings. 2007, 2008 Red Wings, and Chicago Blackhawks. Excuse me, it was 4. Pardon me. 4 in the last 25. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Here's the teams that lost. Boston Bruins lost in the second round. Conference final, Rangers. Washington Capitals lost in 15-16. 16-17, Washington Capitals. 17-18, Nashville Predators. 18-19, Tampa Bay Lightning. 19-20, Boston Bruins. You guys have done it fucking twice. You should want to stay away from it worse than anything else in the world, because you guys got the curse of the Bambino. 2021 was my Avalanche who lost. We already know we don't want it. And then 21-22, the team that was heralded the most amazing team in hockey, the Florida Panthers of last year, the one that the Colorado Avalanche kicked the living fuck out of the East and destroyed the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, you guys, the President's Cup is a curse. And it's a curse 4 times in 25 years. So remember, I said 3. I'm so sorry that I was off by 1. You still think the election was stolen, and you're wrong about that too. All right, everybody, that's my 1 minute. Leroy?
My 1 minute, I'm going to soak up with Trump and the potential indictment for tomorrow. I would just beg everyone to not protest. Please just sit back, relax, and just let it do its thing.
I'm telling you right now, he will not be arrested tomorrow, and he is not going to be in cuffs. None of this shit's going to happen. This is a nothing burger.
I would agree with you. And I would just kind of foot stomp that, right? I would want everyone to kind of relax a little bit and just let it happen, because you're not going to see anything. I think that it was a maneuver on Trump's part to try and drum up some sort of, to foment some part of his base. I don't know why he would want that so early. It seems like if this tactic fails, that almost certainly he's going to have put his own presidency for next term in jeopardy. So I think that's a big problem. And yeah, I would vote for DeSantis all the way on that one anyway. But yeah, I would just say, everyone, just please chill out on the whole Donald Trump thing. I don't think he's going to get arrested. And please, for the love of God, no one protests shit.
They just put out in the media that his arrest has been postponed. I told you, this is nothing. It's not going to happen. He's not going to be arrested. This is a misdemeanor charge. It is stupid. It is not even criminal in nature. These are allegations that have already been disproven. It's a 7-year-old case. This isn't going anywhere, folks. And the left, all they do is look completely stupid. And now the focus can go 100% on Biden. And because the left called for his arrest and it celebrated it, now they look like fucking hypocrites so they don't go after Biden. Folks, this is 4D chess. This is what you do. They're going to go after Biden and they're going to hit him on these 11 receipts. And honestly, it's going to impact him because America, the number one concern for the United States right now is China. And if you ask why, because it's about economy, it's about the price of the dollar, and it's about world stability. Those are the three things that people are focused on. And China influences all three of those things. That's all I got to say.
You know, it'd be one thing if I paid you, $1 million to do something for me, right?
A
it would be
blowjob?
one thing to whatever it was. It doesn't matter.
Where'd that pride jersey?
A blowjob?
But it's a completely different thing to find out that $1 million then came from a foreign entity for which we're supposedly in geopolitical competition with. That's a problem. And I think that if the media were doing their fucking job, that they would have realized that and pointed it out. Matt did point out that CNN and another network is trying to make,
they are
trying to bring that
they're saying this is not a good look for Biden. This looks bad. This is just another thing in Biden that's going to hold him back from being celebrated as one of the most historically good presidents in the world. Blah fucking blah. It's stupid.
Anyway,
he's not getting arrested, folks. This is stupid. And anyone who thought he was, Democrats are idiots. Like, I'm looking at the Krasenstein brothers. I'm like, you guys call yourself news. I'm like, I'm sitting in my house where most of my time was playing Last of Us 2, Last of Us 1, and Harry Potter over the last month. And I cracked that code in about 10 seconds. You guys are fucking pointless. Folks, that's it. Please do me a favor. Stop by the don't. Oh, wait, go ahead.
No, that's what I was saying. That's all we have.
That's all we have. Don't Unfriend Me store at thedumbshow.com. We need more moderators. So Amy and Lee are doing a great job. And I think Maureen is also. If you're looking to moderate, which would be for you to go onto the show, and when you see spam, get rid of people who are spamming. Otherwise, I don't want a heavy ban hammer. I like people who are trolls. I don't have a problem with them. But anybody else, please do. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Do me a favor. The Ryan Weaver second part came out today, and I want to thank Leroy and Amy for an amazing job on the first one. They got some screen time on the recorded show, and they'll be on the third episode as well, which will release on Wednesday. But the second one's out. Go give it a watch. I think it's pretty damn good.
God, he was an amazing guy.
Yeah,
he was great,
really,
man.
yeah.
He wants to come back too. He's such a good dude. So
Yeah.
go over there and follow him if you haven't. So
Somebody asked me why I'm not on camera.
Oh,
and
Olivia's got it. This
I
is
don't.
Olivia's 1 minute. Go ahead, Liv.
Don't need a minute. I just don't want to be on camera. I don't like it.
You get a minute every day. I give you a minute of attention every day.
It's more like 10 seconds, but
That's what she said.
Wow.
no, I don't like to be on camera. I'm a little
10
self-conscious
seconds
about
in
it,
heaven
and-
is better than 5 seconds in heaven.
That's what I'm saying. Better than 5 seconds in hell.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just-
Shut up, everybody. Let her talk.
I just don't like to be on the camera. That's all. It's just, yeah.
So she's one of those, right? So
One of what?
Well, it's very similar to Elle Macpherson. Elle Macpherson, like literally one of the hottest women during Leroy and I growing up, comes out with a book and she's like, I'm so self-conscious and I don't like myself and I don't like my body. People are like, shut the fuck up. Right? You're Elle Macpherson. I mean, basically, I could roll over you with a truck and you would still look better than 99% of the women out there. So Olivia is beautiful. Doesn't need makeup, always looks good, and honestly, I'm done fighting her. Everyone loves it. We must have had 100 comments
on shows where people are like, dude, we love Olivia. It's fun. You guys, she adds something to the show. It's fun banter. And it's good having that news person. So we love having her. All right.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. God bless. Amy, thanks for being on. Libre, thanks for being on. Both of you. I love you both. Do me a favor. Please go pick out a dumb shirt or a hoodie or something. Let me know which one you want. I want to, there's some new designs on there I think you guys might like. And I'd like to hook you up with a shirt, hat, coffee, glass, something. So go pick something out. Let me know what you want. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Got it.
Love you guys. Let me know if you want to be a moderator. Send us a message. Good night, everybody. God bless. We'll go out with the Veteran Crisis Hotline. You guys can pop smoke. We'll see you later.
Yeah. Love you guys. See you
Love
later.
you both.
Bye.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
night.
Yep. Do me a favor, please check out this message from Veteran Crisis Hotline. And then if you want to be a moderator, just send me a message at owner@don'tunfriendme, my email address. Go down and please watch the Ryan Weaver video. Like it, share it, subscribe it. We'll see y'all tomorrow. And God bless.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team.
Hey, folks,
and we
real
have an
quick.
important message for returning vets.
It's pretty simple. We're on at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. We're not doing 8:30 anymore. It's 8 o'clock. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 o'clock. Recorded shows for the rest of the week. Please make sure you are on time at 8 o'clock if you want to watch the show. Thanks.
I'm David Boreanaz with the Cast of SEAL team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important. You are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call